Woo-wee. This weather is kicking my ass. I am kind of sick, y'all, kind of congested, so please bear with me. But welcome to Outlaw Radio, Wednesday night, hump day edition, the talk of the town. Yes, sir. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the mouthpiece of the movement, the militant with a microphone, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer, also known in some circles as the world-class smartass. If you listen to the show long enough, you will soon realize why people may refer to me as that. But anywho, welcome to Outlaw Radio, man. We got a phone number attached to the show. I want to say that first and foremost. That number is 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131. Got the whole crew on deck tonight. Yes. The Outlaw Forum is in effect, man. I wouldn't be right if I didn't start with my man 50 Grand, my original co-conspirator. Mr. Carter, how you feeling this evening, my brother? What's good with you?
I'm good. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, the real motherfucking OG. Hey, mama, there go to sleep, most man. Come on in, man. If you ain't make your motherfucking work, goddamn.
That's what's happening. Support black business, man. Support black business. I need to support black business and get some elderberry because I'm over here infected with all kinds of I don't even know. I might have colitis, and I just made that shit up. I don't know what the fuck it is. I got
to say I need to back you out of me.
Right. I gotta round out this. I gotta round out the panel tonight. So I got my brother Ian Jordan, alcohol free Ian Jordan tonight. What's good with you, Ian?
Ian.
I know. It was funny, but I was like, I texted Kev. I was like, man, you know, people saw it and they're like, man, you can't do it, brother. I was like, yeah, you're right. You don't disagree with people when they make good points, which goes kind of to our friend Orlando, who was making fun of me saying, oh, you just agreeing with them just because. I'm like, well, if they make some good points, I'm not going to just argue for the sake of arguing. So there we go.
But I see, this is my thing. Moderation is the key. And like I had said to you, because initially we used to actually have adult beverages when we would do this live in the studio. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about free flowing, right? Like we pre-gamed and post-gamed. So trust me, as them young boys say, it was litty, right? But I just saw a couple of those shows go so left. Man. And there's a long lost.
I remember Kev ate some motherfucking brownies or some shit.
They was packed with weed.
All you can do is shake his head.
Dude, listen, I'm trying to tell you. There's somewhere out there is a long lost episode that was so wild that I had to delete it.
Oh, I would say
everybody was mad at me because we had a wannabe elected official who was an Arab lady.
This shit was hilarious. In studio with us.
Yeah, and she was a Republican and very conservative leaning, which none of us knew. So it was probably about 5 or 6 people on the panel live sitting right here. Oh, and this shit just went crazy. I just had to
got the business.
I had to end the show and then I deleted the episode. And there was like,
she was crying and shit. She told Kev he set us up, he set her up. You set me up. You
She was pissed.
It was bad. You know, and so because I don't know, she was saying like she was popping all this kind of right-wing kind of rhetoric, and you in a room full of black dudes. And not on that, okay, we're all men, like we're gonna do something to you, but I'm saying we're black and you're an Arab and you talking like it's like you talking down to us, and I'm trying to give her the hint, like, yo, you know, okay, just be right. And then I got everybody calm. And rest in peace. Jason Campbell, rest in peace to what does he call himself? Talk to teach, listen to learn, the truth transfer engineer.
Oh, that's dope.
It was fake. It was fake quiet for 20 seconds, and then he just lost it. See, you're a dumb bitch. You're a stupid bitch.
Rest in peace, Jason.
Shit went up. Everybody, I said, man, fuck this. Hit the button. So, man, congratulations on your temporary sobriety. And like I said, if you want to sip a beverage, my brother, you was down in straight fifths of whiskey. Like not
Maker's Mark was ridiculous.
Yeah, black people drink
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
It made its mark.
The Maker's made its mark.
We drink Hennessy and Remy and E&J. This brother had some Maker's Mark, and he was down in them.
Ian said, "I want to see what Sean got to say."
He's like, It was just at the end of the show. He's like, "Well, did you know about the Packers?" We like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" What are you talking about?
Oh, the Packers this week is sore spot.
No, but you wasn't talking about the game. You like, they're like literally the oldest franchise in the NFL. We like, Ian, what the fuck are you talking about? We talking about the election. Sean Moore, what it do, man? The capo was in the building. What's happening, man?
What it do, man? What it do? Blessed to be here, man. Just happy to be here, man. Happy to be here. Yes, man.
It's
good in the building, though. Don't get it twisted.
Like I said, the number is 262-202-5131. The chat room pops if you want to, hold on to your anonymity. So I see my cousin, Mariah Johnson in the chat room. I see Landon Deadman. He said, "Blessings, family. What's up, partner?" Mariah, you know what it is. It's all love, family. Share the show. I'm sharing it right now as we speak. But yeah, man, it's Outlaw Radio, talk of the town. And I realized that most of our discussion on this show is regarding the political environment in Milwaukee. And I don't really place a premium on trying to discuss everything outdoors before I talk about things that are indoors. Meaning, I think it's very important that we as citizens, as foundational Black Americans, should be very aware about what's going on around us in the immediate vicinity around us. Because see, here's the muscle. If you don't understand local politics, you'll never understand national politics.
That's right.
So you're gonna look at what's going on nationally and be like, my vote don't mean nothing. They're gonna do what they gonna do, right? And without understanding how these systems actually are supposed to, I'm not saying they do function this way, but how they're supposed to function. The moral of the story and one of the principles that this country was built on is no taxation without representation. I want people to understand what that means. That means if I'm going to pay taxes and money is taken from us, what I would like to call involuntarily, because you pay your taxes, you don't know where the hell your money's going. We're finding out some of it's in Argentina, some of it's in Ukraine, some of it's in Israel, but they don't want none to be spent here on the people that pay the taxes. So, it's what they call a dichotomy. Google it. Brenda Peterson in the chat room. How you doing, Brenda? She's in the Twin Cities. And Kobe Lloyd, what it do, man? Oh my God, man! Neighborhood 17th and Capitol right there on the other side of Capitol. One of my oldest partners, man. I went to middle school with Cole. What up, Cole, man? What's happening, man? Big Reg, one of my RC partners in the building. I see you, Big Reg. He said, yo. What's happening, Reg? I thought we was gonna get another hot day, man. I got a couple real dope rigs, man. I need to get them out. I thought I was gonna be able to sneak, and I done got a cold and shit. This is too bad. This old shit ain't for the week. Ace Cooley, he said, what it do now? What's happening, man? So also talking to town in that I'm gonna be honest, and I love transparency. I'm watching on Facebook and I'm seeing panels. I'm seeing panels of people who are supposed to be vocal leaders or vocal representatives of the city of Milwaukee, foundational Black Americans. There's Black topics being discussed, and not one son of a bitch invited me to the conversation. Now, how should I take that? As long as I've been doing this, and I'm not just talking about podcasting, Hold on. I've been working with my people in my community on a professional level since 2001, starting as a special education teacher from Milwaukee Public Schools. So I was teaching your little funky ass, retarded ass kid.
That might be why you didn't get invited right there.
Is that you think that's it? You think okay, my bad.
That might be it.
That might be it, man.
That might be it, bro.
Retarded and shit, you know.
That might be it. That might be it. That might be it.
It's called the R word.
Let me get myself on. Listen.
You know, and I was about to go somewhere else, but you did.
I said that because after all this time, this is how you disrespect me. So once you shit on me, you don't get to tell me how to react.
So who all was in the room?
Everybody who's supposed to be somebody. Everybody who has a name.
Should I feel some type of way? Because I wasn't in the room.
See, now you understand the retarded comment. See, now you just figured out you.
Man, and the real OG definitely wasn't in the building.
Time out. When was
the real OG definitely wasn't in the building. God damn it, I should be pissed.
Somebody asked me last week,
that's fucked
man,
up.
Where have you been? Right? Mm-hmm. Which on one hand, I was like, damn, that's what's up. You know, I'm low. You know what I mean? Then on the other hand, I'm like, well, if I want to push what I'm trying to push, I do need to be back out amongst people and in these circles sharing this information. But I don't want to deal with certain systems and, you know, people, man.
So fuck the diplomatic approach. I'm going to say this. $1 to a dime, nobody has a better show than Outlaw Radio. I'm gonna say that. I'm like Pimp C back in the days when Pimp C was giving Bun B his props, and he said, "And can't none of your niggas out rapping. Go ahead, put your funky ass car up." Right? So I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Now, if you don't like me because I am nonpartisan, or you feel like because I don't hang with your guy who hang with your guy who know your guy who know your guy, that's fine as well. But you're disrespectful and disregarding the value of our platform because there's so many supporters. If we had 20 people listening, I say, you know, they shouldn't acknowledge us. 11 years and so many listeners, you just can't ignore us or disregard us. Go ahead, Kamar.
No, I was just finna say, man, I feel the same way. You know what I mean? Shit, I'm sitting over here with 79,000 motherfucking followers, god damn it. Why ain't I getting invited to the table to talk to somebody? Motherfuckers want to hear what the fuck the real OG got to say, man.
Well, hold on. That means that we have more than enough of the necessary tools to provide the table ourselves. Right? We got a platform. We need to start holding these type of meetings because people want to hear real conversation that elaborates and evolves into real solutions, right? That's what we talk about. Am I right or wrong?
You're right, but hold on. I want to go back to the disrespect of me.
Here we go.
Real shit.
So that's what this is about.
Because I just want to put this out there because I never say this stuff, but it's also true, and you can check it all. First of all, I've been in workforce development, nonprofits, social service, education, mentorship, coaching, athletically and otherwise. I am now a certified professional life coach, and I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been on the front lines on the
professional life coach, y'all.
Black people. What are you talking about, white folks? What the fuck you talking about? I've worked with niggas too, all over the place.
I said professional life coach. What
I thought you said professional white folks. I my bad. No, I'm sorry.
I said professional life coach.
Okay, I'm finna say. I apologize to you niggas I done worked with.
Man,
look, MPS, MATC.
What's wrong with you, man?
That's so funny.
MPS, MATC, Boys and Girls Club, Safe and Sound, Employ Milwaukee, College Possible, Housing Authority. These are all places I've worked with or for, okay? And I'm a Panther. I was on the front lines in 2016, buddy. I stood there on Burline and watched the gas station burn down. Before a lot of y'all was.
Hey, on the real.
Hold on,
bro.
let me finish.
Hold
Let
on,
me
bro.
finish. Let me finish. Before this shit was popular and people thought I'm gonna go out here and protest, I was with the original group of those of us who said, nah, some got to be done. And it was a reinvention of what Commander McGee had done in the early 90s. So how dare you disregard me from anything?
In the 80s, it was the 80s because
I got legislation passed that's on the county books right now to develop community restoration centers in the county parks. They're not using it. So how dare you, once again, how dare you disrespect me? I done sent more kids to college just from playing football than a lot of y'all have in your fake ass programs that you run. But you don't leave me out the conversation.
Because I feel some kind of way right now.
It's all good.
No, it's not.
I got it off my
chest. Hold on. Because you said that you sat and watched the gas station. But do you know I was one of the 4 people that ran in there to get the people out? Why didn't you come help me, KB?
Because KB don't run in shit that's already on fire. I don't love my people. I ain't that goddamn pro-black. If I got to do that to get on NOV, I'd never be fucking heard.
He said, "I don't run in shit that's already on fire."
I was standing across the street. I didn't know you know, that was up to y'all over on that side. My point was we were on the air, myself, Bear Meat, and my brother T Brad. We were on the air. The phone call came through and said, yo, they rioting, the city going up in flames. We jumped off the air and I'm safe because I was I'm far away, not far like out in Kansas, but I was safe. We got in the vehicles, went down there and got in, just walking through the midst of the chaos. It wasn't just that gas station on fire. Oh, no. My point is, I've been on the front lines fighting for this community forever. You are out of pocket to disrespect me. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care what your name is. I don't care what political party you are affiliated with. And when you do disrespect me, I disrespect you back. That's why I called your kids funky ass retards. And I say that shit again before I take it back. And I probably got some shit to say about your ugly ass too. Why you keep playing with me? They keep playing with me. So, you know, how y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing?
I'm gonna be honest, Kev. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. They probably know you ain't coming out no way.
You be surprised. You be surprised where I'd show up at.
Hey, man, they probably know you ain't coming out no way. I ain't coming to that shit. That's the shit. What
you worse than me, bro.
They don't know. Come on. They don't know that. If you know that, don't you tell them either. They don't know.
Yeah, they do, bro.
He said they do if they watch the show.
If they watch the show, they know that.
They do.
All right, whatever. Listen, whatever. Okay. If that's their excuse, then you know, fuck them. I'm just saying it is what it is. It is what it is. It is. I don't give a shit. Because you've already excluded me anyway, so it ain't no need for me to play nice. What I'm trying to be gentle for. Because obviously it's fuck me. So fuck y'all too. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm an outlaw, baby. Faux life. Now, how about that? Now let me go to my chat room.
All right.
Hey, Reggie said, get well, brother. I'll be okay, man. Despite all the cussing that I just did, by the grace of God, I'll be okay. Right. Ace Cooley said, damn, kid, why the kids got to be funky and retarded? You ever seen that movie with Bernie Mac and Mike Epps say, man, I got these kids, and Bernie Mac say, fuck them kids. Mike Epps be like, damn, fuck the kids.
Yeah, that was funny. Fuck them kids.
Beverly Williams, how you doing, my sister? Condolences. I know that you lost your mom, and I've seen all the tributes to your mother. A person who chose to stand on the forefront in fighting for us in this city. So rest in peace and condolences. She said that's what they do in Milltown. There were many uninvited.
Oh, what are we talking about?
She said, let me finish the damn comment, John. Damn. She said there were many uninvited. She said they know what they are doing, always similar to folks and organizations getting funds and not helping the community. Always. Ace said, LOL, Kev. He said, Kev said, we tried doing it the Lord's way. Now we're going to try doing it 27th Street in Capitol. 27th Capitol Way. The 17th in Capitol Way. No, not 27th. No, we ain't going to do 27. That's sacrilegious.
Macklin and them was.
Yeah, no, that ain't where Macklin was.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
That's a whole different ball game. Ewok the Great, he said, Ewok the Great here, homies. What up, Ewok? Ewok doing pictures with his straps on like he Rambo. He got all his guns. Black Terminator.
Is anybody gonna tell me?
Hold on, Sean. Let me finish the chat room.
I guess not.
Sharita Shaw, how you doing? How you doing? She said, hey, Outlaw family. What's going on with you, my sister? Mama Jenkins said, good evening, my Outlaw family. What is raggedy? She said these raggedy city leaders are not being held accountable for Jack Doodoo. Yes, there was a meeting, and I'm sure there'll be another one with the same. I guess, Mama Jenkins, I was being very, very, very callous. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm speaking in jest. Like, my whole point is it's the same people all the time. I would go as far as to call some of them gatekeepers. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really bitter about that shit. Trust me. I got a great life. I'm talking shit. And like Kamar said, I ain't going anyways. So that's the truth of it. Like, you could ask me, I'm cool. Like, I'm straight. Now, you know, I'm just not with all of that shit. So I'm talking shit. But my point is, we have to get new blood in this city. In terms of our leadership, it's the same. And it's always not only the same individuals, but it's the same kind of frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same approach to leadership. It's good boy. It's good old boy shit. I'm gonna hire not for qualification, but for familiarity.
You gotta be a certain kind of way to get in the circle.
Yeah, my frat brother, or my sorority sister, or my cousin, little nephew.
Can't be aggressive. You cannot show any aggression. Aggression will get you kicked off completely.
Be a passive nigga.
It's like some people reserve the right to criticize others, but then they don't want you to do it, right? Like, so I can't criticize the Democrats, I guess. I can't be critical. I can't be critical of a leader because he or she is black. I'm guessing. I'm throwing stones, y'all. I don't know what the real reason is, aside from my antisocial behavior, which I can totally be held accountable for. Mariah says, LOL, I was driving the police around on the city bus that very day in 2016. Wild day, wild evening. Earl Henning said, to tell the truth. D-Rock is in the chat room. He said, wow. D-Rock, I'm bullshit, man, obviously. I'm bullshit. You're a comedian. I hope you understand. It's jest. You know what I'm saying? I believe me, it take a whole lot more than not being invited to a go along and get along gang meeting.
You gonna tell me where this meeting was at?
Huh?
You gonna tell me where this meeting was and what it was?
It was more than one. I'm gonna give you all of them. Give me a second. I'm trying to keep this chat room on deck.
What the hell was that, man?
She said, Kev, you would be like Jack Nicholson. They don't want to hear the truth.
You don't want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Chris Polanco, he said, what up, y'all? How you doing, Chris Polanco? Y'all
what
please
up, nephew?
Earl said, what it do? My brothers love us. Condolences for all of them who love Donald Trump and Orlando. Damn, Orlando catches a stray. He's not even here.
Damn.
We gotta lay off Orlando, man. because everything ends up shifting to just Orlando.
Hey, man, it's its own universe at this point, right? Ace said you might be going too hard, Kev. Maybe so, but I'm really not. Like, what if I do? Say if I was serious, who did I disrespect individually in that when I just went off?
Retarded kids.
Okay, so a bunch of little retarded kids gonna be after me, like, they gonna kick your ass, man.
And the parents, because they raised them.
Right.
With they retarded ass.
You want to pick on somebody retarded? Pick on me. I'm an adult.
No, their behavior challenged.
That too. Okay.
That too.
Whatever you choose to call them. Now, I can't say this name.
Juvenile delinquents.
She said,
hey, what up, niece?
Okay. Can you please tell me what that says?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't. It was her husband, the one, Chris Polanco. They actually, a shout out to Natural Instinct Combat. They got a fight coming up in August, but that's their company. But yes, I
with
can't
a name like that, she better know how to fight.
Shit.
Chris can fight.
Yeah.
He pretty good.
I'm talking about her too.
Oh yeah. Oh, she got us fighting for her, so she good.
Man.
Beverly Williams in the chat room, she said, "Thank you, Kevin. My mom did a lot for the community, and she was also disrespected by some of the same folks you are referencing. Yes, the gatekeepers are all about money and status, but not the hard," she said, "not the hard work to truly help the community. I don't play with them, period, and they know it. Take care, man. Love you to death, mama." I mean, Miss Williams, Miss Beverly,
Rest in
you
peace.
always good people. Yes, yes, yes.
That's
Appreciate
right.
your
About to get
support
it.
over the years. John Fletcher, he said, "What up, Outlaw family? What happened? Fam, I see you snapping. What did I miss?" I was just, I'm just tripping, man. And really what I'm speaking to really is that once again, I hope these people who just kind of remain in the same circles with no growth and no motion don't believe that anything they doing is really going to bring change to the city, because there's no new ideas. And the thing, like, all of this stuff has been in motion for years. Remember, the majority of the Common Council was black.
Mm-hmm.
How far did we get under that regime? Right? Like right now, then we had the Black 7 with all these black leaders. And if you can honestly look me in my eyes and tell me that right now our city is in a better place because of our mayor, that his leadership has brought us to a better place, I challenge you to do that to me.
Right. Challenge accepted. Let me look.
Right. I want somebody to be honest with me and tell me how the price of living in Milwaukee is going up, but the ability to improve your income is not. Tell me that. You raising the prices and you lowering the money that we can actually get a hold to. So, I have to tell the truth. I'm not really an ass kisser, and I don't engage in groupthink. And that's just me. And if that's what is required for me to, I can do this thing, what I'm doing right here. It's a cool little gig for me, y'all. But believe it or not. So, it's gravy. So I was tripping. I was talking shit earlier. I'm not really that upset. But now, Sean, you want to know where these meetings were. I seen that WNOV held a forum. I see that Mayor Johnson has been meeting. He met with some people about the budget. He met about the traffic. Now that they finna come down on the reckless drivers. He been on a press junket.
Oh, y'all talking about them little? I thought you was talking about some meetings about some substance.
Well, it's supposed to be. You mean it's supposed to be about substance? It's supposed to be about substance.
Man, I thought you was talking about some man. The meeting, the shows this morning, because that's what they are. They were shows.
Okay.
That was for ratings. They had cameras and sign-ups. That was for ratings. I know about the World Day of Remembrance meeting because it's about Saturday and what's going to take place around traffic violence. I don't know about the other stuff, but the WNOV thing, there wasn't no meetings, man. That was just a show with an audience. That's all it was. Those were shows with audience. Those were scripted questions. There were no real lived experience questions. There were no questions that led to more questions or tested the falsibility of a statement or none of that. So, yeah,
but they had their good tablecloth. They had their good tablecloth and everything. And I know there was like orange juice and donuts.
They did have a nice tablecloth.
Wasn't it nice? Come on.
That was a nice tablecloth, man. That was nice.
And they had some good muffins.
Now, Kamar, that might be what triggered me.
Right. That tablecloth.
I'm like,
y'all sit at that tablecloth too.
And y'all ain't invite me, and y'all got your good tablecloth out.
Hey, at least give a nigga a call, give me an opportunity to turn you down.
Well, hold on, Kevin. Maybe because you don't mention his accomplishments. This is what Google Deeper in AI mode says. He has addressed public safety, securing the city's financial stability and forcing economic development he made by becoming the city's first African-American person.
Google don't even sound like that, bro.
Well, hold on. Let's go back a minute. Let's go back a minute. Because I thought I heard you mention something about stabilizing the city's economy, correct?
Yeah, exactly. That's what Google
Oh,
said. It don't
okay,
even
now
make no
maybe
sense.
I'm wrong, or maybe I'm just dumb. Sean always say that's that Rufus King shit, right? Because that's
I
where I
ain't
went to
said
school.
Y'all
nothing.
crazy.
I ain't said nothing
But
about Rufus King
if,
today.
if you're saying to me that you stabilize our economy, have we not faced multiple deficits in the past that you said you would address that didn't actually address them because there's more forecasted in the future that will cost more?
The bus.
What did you stabilize? You said economic development. What's been developed economically for the people of Milwaukee to come up economically? Please tell me.
they don't have any of
Well,
that in
man,
there. They're saying
That
that he did a
motherfucking train
landmark
still
deal
wasting
with the
money.
state legislator,
Come
as
on, you
well
just
as
made
the
a point.
Republican leaders for the sales tax.
Hold
I
on.
remember hearing about that.
Hold on, because y'all was kind of talking over.
Oh, my
Kumar,
fault.
what did you just say?
I said that motherfucking train still wasting money.
Right, the train,
Yeah.
there's
At
millions of
some point, just take the motherfucker off the track and stop losing money.
Well, that's what Spiker is proposing.
or extend it. Do the right thing and extend it
And
so it
make it
can
go all
serve
the way around.
people.
Yeah.
Dummies.
That would make more sense. Yeah.
Now, hold on. Now go back in because you said you remember something and that y'all had kind of clacked.
I remember they were talking about this. This was a while ago. I guess it's called, I didn't know the details, but it's called Act 12, where he had the state legislator, including Republican leaders, to implement a new local sales tax for the city and the county. The agreement helped Milwaukee avoid a looming fiscal cliff and potential massive cuts to essential services like police and fire departments. But they don't have enough officers, so that don't make sense to me. I'm going to look into
That's
that more.
something else.
Huh?
Look,
no, I got 4 of them.
well, let's talk about.
You want me to read more?
No, because we all know about Act 12 and we've spoken about it on this show a million times. Now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Now, once again, not you, but these individuals who said this is a great thing to do because we won't lose access to services. Now, first of all, there was a lie because the stipulations that you had to take in order to get this passed, because way before Trump or anybody said anything about getting rid of DEI or whatever, the Republicans in Wisconsin was like, that's a mandatory part. So at one point we were actually talking about Black history not being taught in public schools. You agreed to this. Now, let's talk about this. There's a 1% tax increase. And when it first came, we said, well, it used to cost $1, now it costs $2, right? Not only did you get this and then celebrate because you generated $200 million, Mr. Fiscal Cliff, 90% of the $200 million went to pension plans for the city.
You've been talking about that for a minute.
The other 10% went to the Fire and Police Commission, who, by the way, just got raises, right? Which further drives up the property tax levy. MPS's budget was just passed, and it's increased from 1.5 billion to 1.6 billion.
And the auditors are asking for more money too. Don't forget
they just got a pay raise.
What?
And they're asking for more, which is going to raise our taxes again. The auditors are, and the auditors, because they're not going to vote on this pension legislation, right? Because it's going to affect them. We're going to continue to have this deficit. We're going to continue to have this problem where we fall behind because we got to worry about these pensions.
I ain't even done. Because people want to say, oh, once again, where's the economic development? As a matter of fact, there's still Masterlock just left, right? A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. There's still mass exodus from the inner city. The 35th Street corridor is still a corridor.
You mean
what are you doing with it? Or am I not supposed to know about that? Am I not supposed to understand when you talk out the side of your neck, even county-wise, when you say, well, we got a $20 million deficit. No, we don't. We got a surplus. Wait a minute. We got $12 million. Bullshit. When you got MPS saying give us 1.6 and then still saying we still going to need another $252 million referendum sign. Bullshit. So once again, where is this economic development he speaks of? It's more shit closing than ever. So if y'all know, and I'm this kind of dude I am. This is why y'all should invite me to y'all gatherings. I listen. I'm open to listening. If somebody wants to call me and tell me what he did, because I want him to be successful. I'm not a hater. The fact of the matter is our city is fucking in deep shit and is trending in the wrong direction. Listen, the reckless driving, the homicide, that's what I'm saying. Well, the crime went down, but murder is up. See, I feel like if murder's up, you shouldn't say crime went down. Until murder go down, then you say, hey, crime is down. But you can't say, hey, robberies is down, but damn, murder is up. Bruh, that's like slapping on me and then wiping it off.
Well, kind of to chime into what you were saying, Kevin, they talking about the small businesses, saying multiple restaurants and food halls have closed on the east side. Multiple craft breweries have closed. They said Pick and Save have closed with declining foot traffic and theft. And then it also brought up what you just brought up, Master Lock. So you dead on with that. But I don't understand when they were saying that he created all of this revenue and they generated this, and then they brought up the RNC coming, which made, temporary money. But I'm not understanding where they're getting that.
It didn't even make the money that they thought it would make. You know why?
Did they pay anything back?
Well, you know why? First of all, let's talk about that. Because local business owners were frozen out of that whole thing.
I heard.
Those people were not leaving because Trump had just got his ear popped.
Yeah.
And so
I forgot
big
about
ass
that.
gate. Right. Remember, they gated off the city. And most of those people who were staying in those hotels downtown didn't leave from downtown. Yeah, so small businessman didn't get to eat unless he was inside the gate. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So they made it almost impossible to get in or out, man. Like the gates was right down the street from me, and they had the mirrors, and it was ridiculous, man.
Therefore, it is also a lie.
I got another one that's also a lie. I want to ask you three this specifically. Now they said the public safety initiatives that he had and he did and put together. It said the violence reduction. Now, I remember when I used to cover things in Milwaukee, and I had an insider in MPD. Okay. She used to say they used to like switch the statistics. Like they play with the numbers with something else opposed to what it should be, and I never really understood that. But I was like, they flipping numbers like that. That is nothing but fraud. So I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, what do you see in Milwaukee in regard to crime being decreased? Like, what is it?
Can I go first?
Go ahead, Negro Whisperer.
How you?
So
you
check
cheated,
this out,
bro. You cheated because you had your hand up.
He was doing like me a few weeks ago.
I just
talk.
I just want to lay this out, and then Sean, you can have it. So there, a couple years ago, just a minute ago, when we had the police chief, Fast Eddie, we called him Fast Eddie Flynn, and we had Mayor Bad News Barrett, and they came out one election cycle and said, "Look, y'all, federally, our federal crime statistics, all our crime statistics are down. Yeah. We have reduced crime. It was something like 12 to 15%. It was like double-digit deductions in areas, right?" And then the FBI said, "Hold the fuck on." Now, if I'm lying, somebody correct me. The FBI said, "Wait a minute, we need to run through these numbers." Come to find out, what they did was, like you mentioned, they juked the stats.
Yeah, I heard.
So you switched something. There was something as simple as alcohol seized from a minor, or not a minor, but open container, and that person was like charged with a felony, but the felony got dropped, but it was a felony arrest. So felony arrests are up.
Oh, God.
Right. So then they looked at it and said, actually, the shit increased. Yeah. If you really classify it like it was supposed to be done. So they was under heat for that. And Eddie Flynn's, his tenure was never the same after that. No. He was under fire after that forever, because what he was trying to do is police statistically. That's where the shot spotters and all this stuff comes from. He used statistics to say the highest percentage area of crime, that's where the majority of our police patrols will be. And so he would over focus on some areas based on the statistics, and then crime would be going down everywhere else. And people were like, what the fuck?
He got kicked out of Massachusetts, man. Him and Mitt Romney got into it. Mitt Romney hated him.
I didn't know they was
partners. I believe, I forgot what his title was at the time, but he hated Flynn. And then Flynn came to Milwaukee right after that.
That's all I was just trying to put that out there about juking the stats. So right now, when you talk about the reduction in the reckless driving, I believe these stats are cooked. Go ahead,
it's
Sean.
not just reckless driving. Okay, listen, man. Yeah, so I really believe in the science behind numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
And the obvious. We know that we have a lack of police on the force. Okay. Which means that we don't have the required number of police in our communities, right? Policing. So the numbers that we are receiving, those numbers are coming from the number of police that we have on the force that is maybe 50% below our required amount of police, right? So there's no way that we can say that those numbers are official. Well, no, they are official, but they're not accurate due to the amount of police that we are missing. We have not graduated a full class of police in how many years? That's
About
another
15.
question. That's another question I have. Right now, you have received all this money in the budget for these classes, for these groups of people to graduate. You have not graduated a full class. Where's the money at?
Well,
From those that didn't go through the process.
You're making a good point, because there was a point when the whole Act 12 deal was in jeopardy because Milwaukee, up to this point, has not fulfilled the number of police positions within the police department.
Exactly.
And so that wasn't.
How are your numbers? How are your numbers accurate then? When you're not even answering all of the police calls, you're not taking all the police reports. You may take the report, but you don't file it. I was there several times and watched it personally. These numbers are not real.
Okay. So I think we've done a good job of kind of illuminating the lies. Now, once again, I would ask people in Milwaukee, and please chime in. I'm going to get to my chat room in a minute, y'all. I love the chat room. I have to respect him. But this is one of the things I'd like to ask people. Do you want to hear the truth about what's going on? Hopefully. Do you want to hear people who are speaking from a perspective that is non-biased when it comes to political affiliation? Do you want to hear people over politics?
Yes.
Because I feel like that's what we do here. If you just want to hear something to make you feel good, right? I always tell people you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. But if you just want to hear something that feels good and it sounds like a good song, or your guy agrees, so you gonna go along, then by all means, I understand why other people are kind of more known and they have more notoriety. The person, so I was always told the truth teller is always ostracized.
Always.
I was always told that the person who's really gonna be honest with you is the one people don't want to talk to.
They don't want them around, bro.
So not saying I'm the most honest man on the planet. I'm saying my platform is honest in how we approach what's going on with our people. It ain't me, it's the platform. That's my point. Now let me go to the chat room. Eve Espinoza, how you doing, my sister? She said, true talk.
Hey, Eve.
Eve.
Eve is in Texas now. She used to work at our company. She moved to Texas. Congratulations to her. Yeah, she was one of my best people, man. I miss her.
What the hell? You turned into a rooster?
What does Eve do?
Oh, Eve was a caregiver. Our business is in mental health for the developmentally disabled, and she was part of the company that I work for right now. So yeah, so she was excellent, man. Created a whole bunch of stuff that we did. We love her. We miss her a lot.
Miss you a lot, Eve.
Yes, we do.
Thank you for tuning in. Who's this? This is ASIN. Somebody talking about implementing a 50-year loan. Who is this talking about?
Yeah, Trump is. Ain't nobody talking.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. I ain't got to Trump yet. Dion said he's in this motherfucker. He said he made it to Myrtle Beach. Dion is on the road, on the highway. Safe travels to you, my brother. Mama Jenkins, she says the new director of community and wellness and safety was there. I just wanted to hear what the hell he's doing when there's 125 homicides that was mentioned. Also about public safety and the budget. Master Lock is back up for sale. The city is in a decayed state. There's no one speaking about economic development. I think I got a copy of that report. So what did he say? What did he say he was doing? And this is why I lose. I lose out
Nothing,
because I don't get to
nothing.
hear what he said. So
Nothing. The questions were not. They were not directed to extract that information.
well, I thought it was a show. If it's a show, you know.
No, it was a radio. He was up there for maybe 15 minutes tops.
So to answer this for me, you seen this, right? You watched this because I didn't watch it. Was this a Democrat leaning kind of platform, or was this straight up nonpartisan, down the middle, people over party? How was this? Was this like a what was this?
No, this was it was some NOV stuff.
Which is well, hold on. Let me say WNLV is very heavily
Democrat.
Very heavily Democrat. They're very heavily Democrat.
Hold on. I believe that it was. I'm not gonna say scripted, but it was
Okay.
it was a safe. They were safe questions. They were cushioned questions, right? I think they were questions that led to statements that had already been made, right? They were not questions that were designed to put him on the spot. And that's what's needed, because doing violence prevention, every moment is, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. What is unsafe or uncomfortable about me saying, can you tell us what your plan is to curb violence moving forward?
Yep.
To me, that sounds very diplomatic, very journalistic.
No,
very,
it's unsafe. It's unsafe when you know that you're not going to elicit an answer.
He can't
answer that people are satisfied with.
No, I don't know that. That man said he bringing pressure. I thought that he was going to have the pressure.
Have you seen the pressure? What's the pressure, right? I'm not trying to knock him. I'm not trying to knock him.
Me neither.
Because I understand that he's really not prepared for this position.
I'm not trying to knock him either, Sean. What I'm saying is, how is that not a safe, respectable question to say, excuse me, at this point we have 125 homicides and we know that the reckless driving and the whole
it's not safe.
All this is an issue. Hold on. Let me
okay.
I don't see what's wrong with me saying, can you just tell us what's your plan moving forward? Do you have a blueprint? Is there some sort of curriculum? We'd like to know.
For you, that's not being safe, right?
No,
because
you can't answer it.
We want the truth here, but for that platform, it wasn't about eliciting the truth. It wasn't about hey, give us some real answers. We don't want the puff no more. You've been on the job, shit, at least a quarter now, and we have not seen anything, right? That's not what that was about.
So then it's useless.
It was about, hey, we got the cameras going, let's get some ratings up. We're gonna draw people here, which they had a full house.
They did.
They had a full house, but they also gave away gift cards. They also did raffles, right? They had food. They knew how to draw people, right? So it wasn't about the commentary, even though you had some people that are well known around Milwaukee. It wasn't about the commentary. It was about the
John, you can't explain to me, and you haven't explained to me.
I probably can't.
How me asking a very honest question would have fucked up the gift cards. People would have still got their gift cards, fruit baskets. They would have still got everything. There was nobody could have been like, how dare you ask him that? You know he the director, right? Who else am I supposed to ask? I don't see how that kind of thing would have disrupted it. So I think that's what we need at a meeting like that.
We do, but that would have led to more questions that he couldn't answer, right? Shit, he was only standing for 15 minutes.
So if you can't answer the questions, why do you have the job? Part of the president. Now, this dude is more protected than the president of the United States. The president of the United States gets asked tough questions in press conferences.
Yeah.
So you telling me this dude is protected to the point where they say,
No,
don't y'all let nobody in here that's gonna make him feel uncomfortable now.
I'm saying that he's good at what he was doing, which is reentry.
But that ain't what I'm asking him about.
I know that, KB.
I realize you like him, but you're Orlandoing. You're
No,
Orlandoing for him right now.
I don't know him.
Right, but you're tap dancing for him.
No,
you're tap dancing for him.
No, I'm not. Sure. Because I want him on the show so that we can ask him some real questions.
Well, if he can't, if he listens to the show and say he ain't gonna come on because I'm talking some real shit, then I don't want him on the show. Answer the goddamn question. You taking that salary?
Show
you taking that salary?
Questions.
What?
Right. We want him on the show because we want to ask the questions.
I ain't gonna kiss his ass to be on the show.
No, I ain't gonna kiss his ass to be on the show either.
And I ain't gonna not call a spade to get him on the show.
He's not gonna come on the show. What I'm saying, he ain't coming on the show. That much I know.
What I'm saying is, as long as nobody questions him, and demands answers, right? And nobody has asked him any real questions. Nobody. It's like everybody's afraid to ask him real questions to put him. Hey, where's this pressure at, right?
Somebody needs to ask the mayor, but before we even go to him, somebody needs to say, hey, mayor, could you please tell us if there's any plans for economic development in the Black community? I'm not talking, listen, shout out to small business owners, because that's the salt of the earth, right? Because you have to start somewhere, and it ain't nothing like a vision that comes to fruition. But it's got to be more investment than just grants for small business owners. There has to be some large-scale investments as well. That creates the revenue that people can then go and spend with small business owners. See, if I ain't got no bread, I can't spend it with my brother. That's right. I need to be able to make me some money so I can go to Kamar and say, yo, let me get all my supplements. And if I ain't got that paper, Kamar don't do that shit on fucking credit. He got to pay his bills. So the bread, there has to be an opportunity for me to make money so I can, that's called staying in the community. That's called our money staying in the community. We go make it, we go spend it with us. We can't do that because where's the investment? How many people work at Talgo? Right? Like, so I'm saying nobody's pressing the mayor in a press conference saying, hey, mayor, don't you think it's about time we start to talk about African-American or foundational Black American economic development in the city of Milwaukee? We're 44% of the city, and half those people live below the poverty line. Some of them working poor, which means they work 2 jobs and they're still poor. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that? I haven't seen anybody ask him that question. When the people who I see with him, they be so happy to be there. They be like, I'm with the mayor. Look, y'all, I got clout. Dude, listen. We don't see you that way. We look at you and say, you're complicit. Complicitness is guilt, right? So if I make people uncomfortable with my line of questioning, then so be it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see. I got some people in the chat room. Let me go here. This is Roger Zeldon in the chat room. He says, they just took the shows on the road. It's time out. Michelle got at him.
No, it did not. I was there. No, it did not. No, she did not.
He said on WNLV they all kind of, it was like an event for all of their shows. Oh. And he said Michelle got at the mayor or somebody. I've heard that she's very outspoken. I've never listened to her show. Dion loves her.
Yeah,
she keeps it a buck. I know she's heavily Democratic, but I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know who she got at. I need some clarification on that, please.
He said it wasn't a Q&A session.
It wasn't.
Well, any show, I feel like every show is a Q&A session, right?
It should be.
And I'm gonna tell you why, because we're presenting right now. We're all presenting. Mm-hmm. We have a phone line and we have a chat room. Mm-hmm. People can ask questions and we can answer them via the chat room or the phone. So that's what I'm saying. Clifton Phelps said we all might not make it. And he said, what would I do as mayor? So if I was mayor, I would do a couple of different things.
Else, Cliff?
The first thing I would do as mayor is seek to end the scourge of the pension payouts. if I had to get a lawyer, if we had to go through litigation, if we had to take this to the Wisconsin State Supreme Court, that would end because that has bled the city for too long. Okay. Secondly, I would look at ways to bring business to Milwaukee. And I mean development. And what I'm saying is, in order to do that, the community has to be safer. So we start talking about, it's not about how many police we have, it's about how we use the ones we have. So there's a such thing as satellite police stations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a such thing as community enriched police stations. You have enough vacant retail property, commercial real estate, and old buildings around this city to put a station here with 20 officers and 4 cars.
They don't have officers.
Here, huh?
They don't have the officers.
Well, hire them. He asked me what I would do. What I would do. So once again, what I'm going to do is I would attack poverty. Poverty would be my enemy.
Okay.
Because I believe poverty is one of the biggest, not the only, but one of the biggest causes of violence.
Yes.
Okay. So I would have so many initiatives that were designed to attack poverty on a small business level and on a large business level, meaning I'm going to go to the owner of the Bucks. I'm going to go to the owners of the Packers. I'm going to go to UW-Madison. I'm going to the owners of the Brewers. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to see the leader of every Fortune 500 company in this country saying, I got a city and I got property and I can work with you on some tax breaks. I need investment. Let's do this. That's what I'm doing. I'm not wasting my time cutting ribbons.
So are you running for office?
Anti-violence initiative. Where the mayor at? He in New York talking to some dudes at the damn stock exchange trying to passing out business cards.
Well, hold on.
We need to talk.
We still need some violence prevention, though.
Once again, I don't believe in the only violence prevention for me is attacking poverty.
Well, because also have to
he asked me the question, so can I answer the question? He didn't ask you. You want to say what you would do? I'll let you go next, right? my plan is to attack poverty, Sean. Now within that, I wouldn't call it violence prevention. I would call it community mediation. Okay. Because what I would do is I would place people in the community that built these relationships with the community that could communicate when it did get hot to say, hey, I know who to go talk to. Hey man, let me go over here, build a trust, build a rapport. You take the Office of Violence Prevention or Wellness and whatever it is, say, Brother Ajamu, Brother Hill the Hood, we want to connect with you. We want to give you some bread to provide resources all year long. Your mentorship groups, all the things you do, all your masculinity seminars. Here, come on in. I'm going to go to Walter Lanier and say, you trying to bring SDC back? Okay, let's establish some community initiatives so we know that this time that money ain't mismanaged and people walking off with it. So there's a way to do things. Now, I'm not saying that the old Kev will save the world overnight, but I think you got to start somewhere other than exploiting us. Sooner or later, somebody has to try and empower us. Instead of just using us for tax revenue, you got $19 million that people ain't paying to get on the bus. You got 19 that you're missing on parking tickets. And your answer is, let's give out more. Wait a minute. If they ain't paying the ones you've given them, well, we're going to tow their card in. So now you start towing people's cars.
And they're going to owe more on the bus because they can't pay for the bus, but they need to get on the bus to get to work because they ain't got a car.
So I couldn't pay my tickets and they towed my car. What the fuck make you think I can afford to pay the bus fare? Move out the way. I'm getting on this goddamn bus.
For free.
Right. Take me to Walmart on the south side so I can go to work. You know what I'm saying? If it's still open. Go ahead, Kumar. I thought you were saying you got something. Okay.
Oh no, I wanted to add one thing. As far as Clifton, everybody show some love to Clifton Phelps. Him and his brothers own a company called JCP Construction, and I believe they did some work on the where the Bucks play. I believe the new Pfizer. What is it called?
The Pfizer.
Yeah, Pfizer. Okay, where they are. So black company. You know what I'm saying? If you go to their website, it's jcpconstruction.com. You know the brothers been. Yeah, they've been doing a lot in the community for years. So I just wanted to add that. Yeah, absolutely.
Big ups. Because one of the issues here is that we talk about on here is with all this development downtown, and if that's what the mayor's talking about, Let's talk about how many contractors down there are actually black.
Oh,
He usually deals with the same contractors. What is it, Grew now, and the developers? Like he usually deals with the same ones. So if that brother's in that loop, man, shout out to him, brother. You got the catbird seat.
my friend
said, "How does
James
that
Jordan
work?"
left because of that.
He said, "How does that work?" That's what happened to A.O. Smith and Paps that produced 53206. 532, as far as A.O. Smith goes, is that 53206? I thought that
It
was
is.
53209.
No, 53209 is the north side of Capitol.
I know I'm from 53209. Oh,
Right.
so everything south of Capitol is 53206.
Up to a certain, I think it might be 30 something. I'm
You have to look that up because I don't know. I get what he's saying. Well, I think a lot of conditions created 53206. Right? I think the crack epidemic had a little bit to say about that.
Yeah, it had more than a little bit.
You know what I mean? So I think mass incarceration, which I still want. I'm one of the black people who say that shit was needed. The crime bill was needed. The community was calling for it. I know y'all don't like to hear it, but I'm gonna say it again before I take it back. I remember the feeling in the community when it was passed. Black people was crying out for help. Crack had destroyed our community. Yeah. So all you self-righteous motherfuckers right now who talking about that shit, if you wasn't alive and you don't remember seeing it, you don't remember seeing somebody grandmother get turned into a crackhead or their mama or their auntie or their sister, crack, and even though there's really no such thing as crack babies, the babies of crackheads bear the brunt of the effect of the addiction.
No, there were crack babies, bro. There were babies that came out addicted. They were crack babies.
That's not true. That's absolutely not true. That's not true. And you can look this up on AI or whatever. There's never been a baby born addicted to crack. Because, and I'm gonna let you know why it's not.
I'm not saying they're addicted to crack. They were crack babies because they were born to people that were addicted to crack, and they were born with behavioral inabilities
That is also inaccurate.
That is not inaccurate. I have a sibling, so don't tell me that
what I'm saying. Listen,
on crack.
Go and watch the whole story about crack.
No,
and just hear me out. Just hear me out. That child might have some developmental issues, but it's not because of crack. You see, what they did was there was a woman, and this is where the term was phrased, where it was coined at. In New York, they wanted to take women who were pregnant, they wanted to lock them up because they caught them smoking crack. So what they did, because normally if you're a first-time offender, you don't do jail time.
Right.
You get a slap on the wrist and you're released. So what they did was they said, well, she's pregnant, and so her baby's going to be addicted to crack. There's no baby addicted to crack, because if there was, how would they give the baby its crack? Are you telling me they're gonna go get 2 for $15 and be in the nursery blowing crack in the crib?
If they got the money, yeah.
It never happened. It never happened.
If somebody gonna serve them, if they got that $15.
And I tell you this too. The problem with a lot of the babies that were born to crackheads is that a lot of them were alcoholics as well. So you know what is the thing? Fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yes.
There were more babies born with fetal alcohol syndrome that were misdiagnosed as crack babies.
So how can you tell me that alcohol has these interceptors and crack doesn't? That alcohol can attack these terminals, right, within our cells, but crack doesn't.
I'm not saying crack doesn't affect your child. What I'm saying is there's never been a baby addicted to crack, born addicted to crack. Never. It's never happened. They labeled it that. They wanted you to believe, oh, these poor babies is addicted to drugs and they're blind and they have cognitive. It wasn't because they were addicted to crack.
I'll agree that they were not born addicted to crack, but I have to put an asterisk there because they were born with cognitive limitations due to that chemical.
Well, I just said that I think the biggest burden on the children was the fact that they bore the brunt of their parents' addiction.
Okay.
which where you could say crack baby in that way, but not crack baby in the way that it was used back then.
No,
It was
not
something
like the
that
baby came out smoking or nothing.
well, that's
man.
that's the narrative that they sold back then, and that justified locking up pregnant black women because she was addicted to crack when the baby was born.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's a crack baby. It's like smoking crack with your baby in the crib. It's a lie. It was wrong. Now, are there any chemical you do can affect your baby's cognitive function? You can drink too much damn coffee while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if you sat up and smoked crack all night, it didn't affect your baby. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
Because you
the
had
baby
some
was not
people
born. The
smoking
baby
right
wasn't
before
born
pregnancy.
fiending. The baby wasn't born like, yo, let me get some, man. Like you wasn't. Man, you don't get a baby a bottle, you get him a crack pipe. You'll be all right.
Hey, think about this logic though. Like a lot of the time, your body got bad bacteria in your gut. You know what I'm saying? And bad bacteria needs what it's made of to sustain itself. So your gut is connected to your brain. This bacteria in your gut wants sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So if you got a baby in you, I'm guessing if the same stuff is going on with the woman, you know what I mean, it would be going on with a baby. So I feel like the baby could come out strung out on crack.
well,
After so much
You know what I mean?
research
You
of
are
these
what you
children,
intake.
but the children didn't have an addiction to crack though. There's no baby that ever showed that they had a they didn't have an addiction.
I think maybe they did some like brain activity with some kind of brain activity that they could notice in the baby. I'm guessing they had to do some kind of test. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking,
able to notice.
I was gonna say, speaking of the test, OG, it says prenatal cocaine exposure is associated with premature birth, obviously birth defects, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and other conditions. They say the effects of cocaine on the fetus are thought to be similar to the same as tobacco and are less severe than alcohol. But then, because one of you all mentioned alcohol baby syndrome, it said that has a wide range of physical and behavioral and cognitive impairments that occur due to obvious alcohol exposure before birth. So that's what it. So that's what it says.
Uh,
Do me a favor, check and see what it does to the hypothalamus and the amygdala. No, I'm serious, man.
Hey man, hey, you got to Google that shit yourself. You
I
can't
don't even want to spell that, dog. I want to fill it too.
Google hypothalamus. Boy, you don't get up out of here, man.
I'm talking about in relations to the crack, what effect it has. Because if we talking about cognitive and well, we got to talk about emotions and moods and behaviors, and that's your that prefrontal lobe and that limbic brain, right? And how does that affect that aggressive behavior? Because that's what a lot of what we're dealing with right now is these hyper aggressive individuals and irrational individuals, and how did crack?
So Sean,
Yeah.
All I want is people to understand that we came to the clarification via Kamar's comment, what you said and what Ian said and what I said, that obviously there will be some sort of effect on the child if you're a crackhead. My initial point was there's no baby that is addicted to crack out of the womb.
I
don't
agree.
come out like we just don't know what's wrong with this baby. Somebody get me a rock. And the baby like, ooh, I needed that.
Beam me up, little Scotty Jr.
Right. That was all I was saying. And so it's one of the things where they say words mean something. So when you say all black people and they crack babies, like, so we cursed the future because we produced these future zombies through the usage of crack. Like, there's people who were born to
Ian got an update.
There's people who are born to a mother addicted to crack that have been normal and very successful in society.
Yes, that's true. And what it's saying is neurodevelopmental. That's the disorder that comes from far as the addiction, far as the exposure to cocaine is premarital. But hold on, this is interesting though. They said that normally is a rare disease. Okay. They say if they smoke dope, it's common, but they said that people normally don't even get that. That's wild. I never even knew that until today. That's kind of crazy.
There you go. Now let me go to my chat room. Brother Phelps, I mean, I didn't say my plan was 100 airtight, and if anybody, I would love for my panelists to be able to kind of elaborate too. But you asked me specifically what I would do. I want to add this. I think there's a need for a premium to be placed on education in the city of Milwaukee for our young people. So what I would do is I would create a bridge between the city. I know I hear all the excuses of we don't have nothing to do with MPS and da. I want to create a bridge between MPS and the city so that we can provide truancy patrols like we did with tabs, because you have a 50% truancy rate. I want to create a task force with the Milwaukee Police Department and the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department to address reckless driving so we don't have to chase them. We can strategically shut the city down so that they cannot flee.
Yeah,
that's what I would do as mayor. I would try to create collaboration, and I would tell Madison, I'm done kissing your ass because I give you more money than anyone.
That's very true.
And you've taken from me. Scott Walker used to take money out Barrett's hand like he was his pimp. When we had the housing crisis, he came and snatched that shit. The feds came and gave Milwaukee. Skippy Walker was like, give me that shit. Barrett was like, damn, man, you ain't gonna do me like that. I've been paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what happened.
Just a little bit.
Now, Dion says Michelle Bryant did get at somebody. Was it the mayor or who did she get at, Dion? I know what I said. Dion is a big.
Oh, no.
He tells me all the time he supports her, right? Huh?
Michelle, all right, man. I mean, I ain't got no problem with it.
I don't have a problem with her either. I'm just saying, I know she. If you're politically affiliated, a lot of times, because I'm going to say many times over, I'm not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. Sometimes people who are heavily Democratic will say, well, I ain't fucking with you then. And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So I don't know if that's where she stands, because we've honestly never had a conversation, because I guess she doesn't know Outlaw Radio exists, apparently. So you know how that goes. Sarita Shaw said poverty is a crime. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of our talking heads don't know Outlaw Radio exists
as a crime.
They don't know we exist. A lot of these shows and these platforms, they're like, what? Who? What is that? So
we gotta get a billboard up on Final Latin Capitol, bro.
Put a billboard with a middle finger and said, to you from Outlaw Radio on Capitol.
That'll be very good.
We need to start reporting from some of these live events. I bet you we start getting a whole bunch of calls.
And a whole lot of escorts.
Straight up. You know what I mean? We build it up to the point where a motherfucker will pay us to come on the show.
Hey, Kamara said we get a whole bunch of escorts to our car too. Like, you motherfuckers can come on. Get your cane, man. Come on.
We get action behind that too.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Like Easy said, all publicity is good publicity.
Straight up. Because then the people gonna want to know, well, why the fuck is they kicking them out all the time?
This is true. I'm not arguing.
Well, KB not gonna get kicked out because he's not going.
Right.
He's not going.
Right.
He gonna send us.
Once again, I say this. You would be surprised what I would go to. Okay. Because I pick and choose where I want to be. See, I'm old enough to pick and choose what I want to do. I'm not driven by anybody. I'm unbossed and unbothered. So if I want to go to something, I'll go. But you won't know unless
we're saying that you're not.
You won't know unless you invite me. If you don't get in the game, you don't get to swing at the pitch.
Okay, bro. You gonna get in the game and you're not even gonna see the pitch because you're just gonna go to the base.
According to you. That's what Sean says. So you gonna tell me, well, Sean said you wasn't coming, so I didn't invite you. Well, there's your fucking problem that you asked Sean.
I just feel like we should get out to some of these events and do some like unbiased shows. You know what I mean, and get some perspectives.
Yeah, we're not gonna be invited. We're gonna have to just
go.
No, we're gonna have to walk in.
We just go. We got a cameraman. Hey, we got a cameraman and all that good shit.
Who's a cameraman?
DJ from Sherman Phoenix, my guy.
I've never met him.
Well, he must be on the team.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. DJ KB DJ. See, y'all got initials in common.
Hey, he cold with this.
Y'all got something in common too, bro.
I see what he did with your videos. I see somebody, because the one you had man, you had one funny one, and I've been meaning to post this shit.
That was it.
With the girl, with the dude who couldn't have no babies, and then he drunk some sea moss and he came back with like 5 kids. Like, this shit was.
I got a couple more on deck coming up.
Oh,
I
that shit was
will ask
hilarious.
you, how much is that specific CMOS?
It was something else too on there that I just fell out laughing. Like he came in there, was like, "Oh, Kamara, I ain't never been able to I can't move my leg or something." He came in with a basketball or some shit. It was like, "Yo, I'm like,
Hey, my objective was to find some stuff that elderberry absolutely cannot fix. You know what I'm saying?
okay."
But our elderberry is this strong. You know.
Once again, if there's anybody out there who wants to support what we do and you have something to add, please reach out. I'm not against that. Ace Cooley says if they attack poverty, they won't be able to make money off bail bullshit arrests. Well, I always say, now here's my theory on that. Here's my theory on that, y'all. Wisconsin has, and Milwaukee in particular, has a conflict of interest to really concern themselves about, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. So say if you come out with this great anti-poverty initiative, and over a 10, 12-year period, the number of young black males that are incarcerated goes down by, let's say, 8 to 9%.
Okay.
What that creates for the Department of Correction is what we call layoffs.
Yes,
And it's going to create layoffs up north. Because let me tell you something, it ain't as much milk and cheese flowing out of up north as it used to be. There's prisons that hold down whole regions. Because Wisconsin makes a lot of money off incarcerating black men.
Yes.
So
yes.
If we're gonna start slicing at that number, they're going to suffer what Milwaukee suffered when our our infrastructure collapsed.
They're so those prisons,
those people will be in deep shit, right? And so they don't want to do that. So they really we don't necessarily really want to help y'all because y'all motherfuckers get carried away.
No, not at all. It's wild. I was gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was agreeing to what you were saying, but then also, you know what I mean. I remember, man, like years ago when I got locked up, dog. I was in Dodge, and it was like every week it was like 40 to 50 black men coming up out of Milwaukee alone, dog. Every week coming up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, that's fucking ridiculous. That's 100 niggas that's 200 niggas every month.
I think they was doing what, 2 buses a week?
Yeah, they might be. Yeah, right? They may have been 2 buses
a week. Yeah.
At one point,
so
didn't they get to exchanging prisoners with states? Because I know my cousin got sent to Texas, and
they weren't exchanging. They was just sending us down there. Because I went to Tennessee. They weren't exchanging nothing.
I thought they were sending them out and bringing in more minimum security prisoners.
No, hell no.
Clifton Phelps is in the chat room. He said, I'm referring to the pension issue. I hope I answered that adequately. I think this is a legal thing. And I think that you're not thinking outside the box if you don't say, let's take a look at the laws that are on the books. Because something has to be done. Do you know this whole pension thing goes back to like 1997?
Yeah.
This is Tom Ament and his cronies. This has been almost 30 years to the kill now. And I get it. You're really saving face and grace for the people who work for the city or the county. But I don't see why just because you sat at a desk and didn't really help nobody at City Hall for 20 years, you should get $1 million when you quit. I think it's a ripoff, and I think it's a crime, especially when you take $200 million of tax-generated revenue by the people specifically in the city of Milwaukee, and you give 90% of it to city workers.
Man, that's some people pension, man.
I don't give a shit.
Regardless of how you look, that's what
time out. I'm not saying they shouldn't get a pension, but they shouldn't be allowed to put the city in a goddamn economic black hole for the next 70 years. You can legally put a cap on it, just like everybody else's sensible pension. Some of them goddamn pension buys is ridiculous.
That's not money that went to. That's not money that went to active.
Hold on, Dion.
That's not money. That's not money that went to active city workers.
It's retired city workers.
Yeah. So that's
they work for it,
man. They didn't work for. They work for a pension. They didn't work to have the goddamn city in a chokehold for the next goddamn 30 years.
You got Willie Hines.
Willie Hines.
If
you was a city employee and you worked 20 years You want your pension.
Once
You see what
again,
behind
you're
it, well,
choosing,
come on, man.
hold on. You're choosing to hear what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I just said they deserve a pension like anybody else who works a job.
But
What
not
I also
$15,000
said
to
that it should
$20,000 a
not
month.
be. And so look, you asked the auto industry what happened with pensions. You know what pensions did for the auto industry? Sent the jobs to Mexico. Got that shit outsourced. Okay. That shit is damaging because nobody ever said, let's put a cap. Nobody's trying to take something you worked for away from you.
Right.
But it's just ridiculous that some of these payouts, if we looked into some of these payouts, I bet you y'all would bug out because there's certain people in certain offices who got $1 million payout coming.
I've seen some of that.
Lines over the housing department.
Yeah, he get like
$125,000 a year, and he's gonna get 85 or 90 for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's what's up.
For running the housing authority into the ground, right? And I keep saying this: the housing authority is the only organization I ever seen steal from the city and the feds at the same time.
Yeah, they cold with it. They cold.
They stole from the feds to pay their workers because they had stole from the city to pay themselves.
Yeah.
Speaking,
Hey,
I have
I
one question.
just called to really.
Hold on, Dion. Hold on. Ian. Let me hear what Dion. Dion got a question.
I just really just called to hit and quit. Like I said, I just made it down here in Myrtle Beach when I've been on the highway since 11 o'clock yesterday. I just called to wish you guys well. I love you niggas, man. I made it down here. Michelle did jump off at dudes, you know what I'm saying? She didn't really attack him like that, but she came at him. But his whole thing was like, he want to have police make more money. And you know what I'm saying? Like, if they make more money, then they got initiative to want to fight crime. Or she was like, nah, hold on. Didn't nobody tell them to sign up for that job? That's what Marcel, whatever his name was, that's what he was coming off to her saying. She was like, hold on. Didn't nobody tell them to sign up for that job? We not saying that they shouldn't make more money because he was trying to compare it to like being in prison and the correctional officers, like Hassan was talking about like, the correctional officers down south. They don't make what the correctional officers make up north. So, you know, they don't care about violence. They let drugs, smoke in, this, that, and the other. So he was using that as an example that he was like, well, if the police officers made more money, they'll probably patrol the city more and more. She like, hold on, woo. But she got at him. But like I said, man, I just called to hit and quit, man. I fuck with you niggas, man. I'll be back to Milwaukee Monday. I'm going to enjoy myself down here, man. I love you niggas, man. Y'all be smooth. I'm down.
Be safe,
Dion. Be safe, bro.
Kev, I wanted to ask you to touch on one thing. Well, after you get to the chat room, because I know you got to do that. Because I haven't heard in a while. I haven't heard a perspective on. I believe they said that Cavalier Johnson, his administration secured a $36 million federal grant, I believe, to rehabilitate 6th Street. That's something I never knew anything about. I know you be kind of in tune with.
That's about the traffic violence.
The last I heard is that Trump had nixed that. Because it was a federal grant. I thought.
Wow, really?
I thought Trump had taken that away from.
Let me look. I'm looking to that while you get in the chat room. Wow, that's crazy.
So.
Clifton Phelps is agreeing with me. He's agreeing with me talking about the mass crime. I'm sorry, the crime bill. He said black community was calling for it. He said, I remember seeing the front page of the Milwaukee Courier. Crime bill passed. Yeah. Yes, sir. I remember the times. I just let people sometimes talk shit. Because hindsight is 20/20. So now everybody's such an expert. But I swear, during that time, black people was like, dude, enough is enough of this shit. This shit has gutted us. You look at our community before and after, there's a decisive difference. I'm old enough. I tell people this. From 1975 to 1985, I was 10 years old, right? And that was pre-crack, really. From 1985 to 1995, I went from 10 to 20. Mm-hmm. So that whole 10-year jaunt and that's during the late 80s, early 90s is when the crack era was at its absolute apex. So this is 10 years out of my life. And then there's not a just sudden stop. There's a slow decline in which you basically go out of the 90s and it kind of dies down in terms of the effects of crack. It kind of dies down. So we're talking about a 20-year stretch. Did
it die down or did our society just become accepted to it?
Well, I think it died down because of awareness, because there were not as many new crackheads. Because let's be honest, a lot of people got caught off guard. No, a lot of people got caught off guard. they got caught off guard by crack. Like a lot of them old heads, you know, they was in the 70s, they was partying, you know, the little powder and the
idea.
Nobody knew what this shit was really
no
gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people really did now. Now, if you now decide to smoke crack, like no mercy for, like, you knew what this shit was.
Yeah, you know,
like get your ass on somewhere. Like, no, I'm not giving you $5. Hold on. Now, you want to talk about your book because I do have more in the chat room. So talk about your book for a second, Sean.
So my book is the training I developed around the amygdala, right? Which is that part.
Can we see the cover while you talk about it?
It's that part of the brain.
The LPM.
It's the part of the brain that controls our defense mechanism, which our survival instincts and that irrational behavior. And I developed a formula over the past few years, going back to what we did in 1984 after MC got killed and started organizing different communities, relaying the same message, control walks, relationship walks, cold water handoffs, the 5 R's: recognize, relate, redirect, refer, retain, the safe stance. It's a formula to dealing with violence, and violence prevention involves intervention and de-escalation in that order. And we are not doing that. There is no plan for violence prevention in this city. We've developed this training, which is neuro-based, but it comes from lived experiences. I've been on both sides of that pistol. I've been on both sides of those moments where life and death is a choice, right? And I've been in the field with people where I've gotten that gun from them. I've also been shot at trying to get that gun, right? But I talk about that too, about that intuition that comes with this work. Violence prevention ain't for everybody. It's not. You can't train instincts. You can't train survival. So
you got to turn that down.
Yeah. So
that's what to my son. My bad.
That's what the training is about. I've developed a full training, a 40-hour training, trainer course.
Well, how can people get it? Like, I mean, are you just keeping it to yourself?
It's on Amazon. However, just reading the book without knowing the proper formula and going through the role play so that this becomes muscle memory. It's just.
So when is your trainings? Are you doing monthly trainings? Like, what are we doing here? Because, like,
well, I'm in the process of having meetings trying to get it accredited. Right.
Okay.
I wanted to get the proper due, right? Because it's about saving lives. It's about saving lives. I'm training some people now so that we can actually start the training out of Mercy Memorial. But anybody that wants to discuss training, discuss what's involved, what the training entails, we can do that. And yeah.
Okay, so A says crack did destroy the community, but it was the white folks bringing it in.
And the pistols.
He said, and they were not getting the harsh sentences that black folks did. Well, yeah, that's another problem that we have with our justice system when we talk about black people. The conviction rates are disproportionate when we compare the same crime by our white counterparts. They get less time, you know, it's less circumstances. A lot of black men get railroaded by public defenders who actually sit down with the prosecutors and make deals over people's lives over a cup of coffee. Like it's nothing. So you have to understand that there's that, but then there's the need, like we talked about, Kamar just referenced, there's a quota. We got to have so much cattle coming off that goddamn bus. because we got to keep this pumping, right? And then now we know we have for-profit prisons. And so that's a thing too, that's big business. So don't get it twisted and think that incarcerating black males is not profitable.
That's where they sent us. That's where they sent us, to for-profit prisons.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about back in the days
when they were sending us out of state.
Okay.
I put the link for far as Sean's information in regard to his book. It's in the comments. And the second thing is, I'm not drunk this week, but Sean, I'm watching your page on my other computer, and that shit is making me feel woozy. You know what I'm talking about?
You know, man, what can I say, man? You know, I'm always in motion, baby. I'm always in motion.
I'm almost scared to go look at the shit. The way y'all making it seem like it might be too much. Like,
I just shared it again on my page. I shared the feed from Outlaw Radio, and I'm sharing Sean's.
Okay. This is Mama Jenkins. She said you don't have to go downtown to find white workers. Just go on King Drive, and all those new apartments are built by out of towners.
God dang.
She said there was no black contractors working on any of these buildings. The library at the Lamar Franklin Lofts, nor that building where the meeting was held, and I don't think Dr. Fuller School.
Wow.
So see, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, if nothing else, shouldn't we be at least demanding that our mayor has, black contractors? Or if you say, well, it's not enough, well, you say, well, I demand that some of these firms that you bring in have black employees. You driving on the expressway, you driving through the city. Look at some of these workers one time. Remember when we found the Fed who was
here's where we should have that unwritten code. This is where the unwritten code should come in at. We was talking about our black folks that had this unwritten code, like supporting black people, you know what I mean? Keeping each other first. This code, like every other race got, you know what I mean? Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and everything, they stick with their people. It's an unwritten code. Solidarity. You know what I mean? White people, they really stick with their people. It's an unwritten code. And like black people, we the only ones that don't got that. That's why we don't support each other. We trying to beat each other. You know what I'm saying? But we should have this unwritten code to where it's like, okay, if I'm the mayor, goddammit, I'm gonna make sure some black companies get involved in these projects too.
Well, remember we've had some incidents in our city where workers from out of town who were here working for contractors, one of them was a white supremacist. Remember this whole jazz about the one who had the swastika tattoos or whatever, and then you had one who had the gun. And people took pictures of him like, why are you straight strapped working on the street downtown? This is white supremacists saying, hey, I got a job for you. Go ahead and work in the city and get that money from that 45% black city and make your money. Meanwhile, what are we doing? Nothing. So that's why we steal shit. If you're going to lock us out, we're going to break the lock and come in and take it. A said the kids were coming out with cognitive issues. He's going back to what we were talking about. With the crack baby thing. Mama Jenkins, I knew what you meant. She said, I'm typing too fast. Clifton Phelps is laughing. Ace Cooley said, cuz trying to go for the jugular. Mama Jenkins said, Michelle told Adam that she had a problem with him being the chose for that position, and she did let him know that. That's dope. That is dope right there. That is dope. And see, that's the kind of thing I can appreciate. You know what I'm saying? And when somebody let me know, when somebody let me know that that's what happened, I say that's what I'm talking about. That's what's needed. But why is it only certain people who can do that? Why are certain people the only ones who can sit in a seat at certain stations? You can't tell me it's because they're the only ones who are qualified. Stop it. It's gatekeeping. It's gatekeeping.
Affable Negroes.
They user friendly. I don't know that she is. I think she is a thorn in their side, but I think she's a democratic thorn in their side. I'm nonpartisan, and I'm gonna stay that way because I'm gonna shit on anybody who comes to shit on us. And I don't know if we're gonna start talking about shitting on people like that's cool, but in a most non-Diddy way, right?
Oh, okay.
Walter Lanier, I see you in the chat room, my brother. He said #truth when I talked about because what's going on at SDC. I'm keeping up with you, Walter. I would love for you to call in and even talk to us about what's going on at SDC. because it is a shame that this is a organization that was actually put in place to assist, and for so many years did assist people, is in such disarray. Because I keep up with it. I keep up with it, Brother Walter, and I see that the leaders like this rebelling, and I see that he has some friction with you. So my brother, if you listening, if you got 5-10 minutes, you're welcome to call in and just put us up on what's going on in SDC. I think a lot of people will be interested in it. He said the prison economy. We were talking about that. Erica Hunt said, "What it do, Outlaws?" What up, Erica? How you doing? Brother Walter says, "That sounds like slave economy. That's wild." Well, Kamar was talking about getting them off that bus and getting them processed and into the pasture, right? Let's get them. Let's get this cattle moving, right? Rawhide. Mama Jenkins said, "That's what happened to us. Yes, we have a pension, but it's not like the city workers pension or A.O. Smith." Let's go, y'all. I love it in the chat room. Clifton said, after 95, the instability. He said the instability from 85 to 95 households then produced a generation of fatherless kids and dysfunction. I'm glad you said that. Like he said, from 85 to 95, right? And I talked about me going from 10 to 20. And so we watched, Kamar. We watched as what our parents and our community had tried to establish in terms of family and community was gone.
Yeah.
That traditional structure of family was gone. That's why a lot of us at 20 were out here just doing what we do. And you see a lot of brothers who say, "Man, why you got, all these kids?" But man, he said, "Man, I was trying to figure it out, man. I didn't have no daddy. I didn't have, the community was going crazy. I was trying to figure it out. I made some mistakes. I went back and tried to rectify them." But you got some who said, "Shit, it is what it is. I'm out." So then we look at child support, which is raping brothers now. Good, bad, and indifferent. Like, it's like you got a lot of brothers who will say, "No, it's not fair," but you got to bear that burden because it's some jack off who just chose to have a baby and be in the wind. And he ain't got no problem with you getting punished for his misdeeds. I'm going to say this unequivocally. If you have a child and you don't take care of it, you are a bitch. And I'm not going to even pull no punches. If you a man right now and you got a child, I don't care if you don't like the mama. I don't care if you got drunk and it was a one-night stand and you accidentally did it. I don't care if she broke your heart because she chose another dude. If you ain't taking care of your son or your daughter, or at least actively trying to be in their lives, meaning that when she won't let you see him or her, you don't just say, "Okay." You take your ass down to the courthouse and say, "Yo, I'm not getting to see my child. I want to fight for him." You a bitch. That's what you are to me. It take a real man to raise his child and his family and be responsible for his kids. I ain't talking about the quality of him. I ain't talking about his behavior. I'm saying strictly raising your children. I don't care what you sell, dope, you cheat, you strip, you do. You ain't raising your kids. You's a bitch. Point blank. Ewok said, "Man, you got to stay on 30 extra minutes because Sean talked too slow." Woo! Messy Monday a little bit, right? He said, "I saw that for-profit prisons are suing the cities for not keeping the." Yeah, they were suing. At one point, they did say, "Y'all ain't sending us enough Negroes." Ian said he loves somebody. I don't know who he talking to.
Oh, fucking Eve.
Oh, okay. Maynard Jackson did that in Atlanta, producing Black a Million. Yeah, like so. That. Thank you, Brother Walter. I don't know if a lot of people have ever examined what Maynard Jackson did in Atlanta. The Atlanta you see today is not the Atlanta of yesterday.
No.
Atlanta has always been a very important city in the state of Georgia because it is there's a very strong black population in Atlanta, right? It's the city, if you will. But in terms of its importance and its relevance, it was not a mecca for entertainment. And because right now, almost everything entertainment or black business wise runs through Atlanta, right? No, Maynard Jackson came in and fought tooth and nail to build an international airport in Atlanta. That changed the game for the city. that brought instantaneous economic development. There's actually a couple great documentaries about Maynard Jackson and what he did. There was some controversy with him towards the end that kind of salted in some people's eyes. It didn't salt it in mine because I feel like it is what it is, and white politicians do what they do all the time and they get away with it. It wasn't nothing really too egregious. There was some issues with a homicide detective in which he got fired because he thought he could do what he wanted to do. But Maynard Jackson, basically, they have him to thank. I think that the airport might be named after him. That turned it around for the city of Atlanta. Walter said SDC is run by a fool.
I'll call.
He said, move him around. I'll call. Okay, Walter. Okay, I think this might be him right here.
He is run by a fool.
Okay. I need you to turn. Carl, you got to turn your device down.
Yeah, man, hold on. All right.
Brother Walter Lanier, you know you are always welcome on my platform. It's always a pleasure to hear from you, man. I know you do great things in the community, but I've been watching your whole saga with SDC, so I wanted my listeners to know what's going on with SDC, so I want to give you a chance to elaborate on it.
Yeah, I'm going to work backwards first, and it's good to hear and be on with your brothers, and I look forward to getting on more frequently. But I'm going to work backwards. SDC is less than on life support, and it'll probably go away unless the community decides that it wants it to live. If the community says it wants to live, it can continue to live. If the community's not interested in that, it won't, because it's like down to no money at all. So I just want to put that out there first. But it can survive and thrive if the community wants to, and I'll get that word out later. What's happening right now is it got down so small, there are only 3 board members left. And then this guy who I've never heard of before that has a horrible reputation. Some call him George, some call him Jorge Franco. He kind of ran a little game and got himself appointed to the chair and interim CEO. He got somebody, brought him to a meeting on a 2-to-1 vote. And that was back in a year ago, really, November 2024. And so it's like a race. He keeps getting people on the board. I'll get somebody on the board. And I can't quite get him voted out because we got some people there that don't care that he is running it into the ground and trying to do some strange financial stuff. I don't know what his play is, but he won't do anything. He won't get minutes. He won't disclose financials. He won't put items on the agenda. The other evening, I had called an emergency meeting to vote him out at the last minute. Somebody chickened out who said they would vote him out and didn't come on board. So he's in the way of us just having a real conversation with the people because he's been in the CEO seat and the chair seat since the beginning of this year. And there's not enough people just to vote him out.
So, okay, so what is there any transparency to what he does want to do? Like, so if he's saying, I'm the chair, it's my way or the highway, because it sounds like that's his kind of mentality. What is his plan? What is he? Is he not?
It's like watching 1600 Pennsylvania. It's like watching Trump. He just says stuff, puts information out that doesn't make sense, calls people's names, says he's everybody's friend, knows everybody, talks big numbers, $50 million, $30 million, $100 million. Puts together generic spreadsheets like you would if you were, 20 years ago and just multiplies them all out by 10 years. It's like fake information. So there's no real plan. Some people have a discerning eye for somebody that's running game, and some people don't. And he's so obviously running game, but not enough people see it who are serving with me. Plenty of people know in like the leadership ranks of nonprofit and civic organizations, they all know his name. I got called probably about 20 different people saying, watch out for this guy. He's a scam artist. Watch out. He ran the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce into the ground. Watch out for him. He used to try to do check cash in places. Yeah, check cash in places back in the day or something. So eventually I'll get him out. It's just taking me longer than I thought.
Okay, Sean Moore has a question, but I did want to say this because, like I said, I've been following this, and I seen at one point that he was saying that he, in fact, had found some financiers, some for SDC, and there was a certain amount of revenue that he could acquire that would get the organization back on his feet. And I remember him saying, "Well, unless you can bring this many millions of dollars to the table, basically shut your mouth." So
no, he's running. He's running. That's just game. That's straight game. 100%. It don't, because nobody will fund based on what? You can't get that type of funding unless you show some revenue. We don't have any revenue. What we have is an unsigned letter of credit. So no, it's straight game. And if you saw, maybe I'll send you some stuff. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh, this is game.
Okay. I just wanted to make
straight
that
game.
point. Okay.
Yeah, no. If it was there, no, if you can deliver. But he's been in this seat for almost a year and has done nothing except throw out names and numbers.
Okay. Now, Sean, you had a question for Brother Walter. What was your question?
It's a two-part question with two questions.
Yeah.
First, what if there were different initiatives brought to SDC to help rebuild that foundation? Could that work? One. And second, what is the process for becoming a board member?
So two things. If there were initiatives, if and when the community brings them, that's something that could take place. SDC, real quick, is supposed to do two things because it has two designations. It's a commission and it's a cap agency. The cap agency is what people are most familiar with. That's about doing programs in the community, weatherization, the tax program, rent program. That's where the bigger money was. But the core work of the SDC is supposed to be the commission side. And that's actually, for me, really where the power should have been, because the commission is all about gathering the people, gathering the community, gathering those who have most need, identifying issues, and then taking recommendations, challenges, and accountability to the city, to the county executive, to the state, to MPS, to MATC, to UWM, to the Greater Milwaukee Committee. That's how it's written. It's supposed to be a place, and think about this when I say this, because we all know this is something that we need all the time, given how siloed we are. It's supposed to be a place where everybody comes together, chops it up, talks about policy, talks about process, talks about resources, gets that information out to the community, and challenges the people in power seats. That's what the commission side is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a place of power for the people. And at least since I've been here back from law school 30 years ago, it has not done that part. But it could do that part. And it doesn't require big money to do that. That's why I say if we want it to survive and thrive, it still can.
So what we got to do?
On the board, Sean, it's we're supposed to run elections for 6 seats. You got 12 appointed seats and 6 elected seats, and we haven't run any elections since my man got on the board and in the chair, because he just won't do what we tell him to do. So we're just sitting with 6 vacant seats. It'd be like having a common council instead of 15 people.
Do y'all have enough for a quorum?
Yeah, we have 9 members of the board right now. And so, yes and no, actually, that's a good question, because no, we're supposed to have a full slate. We're supposed to have all those electeds from the community.
So I started this show by talking about a lot of organizations and a lot of groups in this city being really affected by gatekeepers and cronyism. And I remember this is years back. This is me really just trying to get more deeply involved in. I'm working in social services, got all the accolades that I would need to be hired. And I remember really applying for SDC at least 7 times over the years, right?
Yeah.
Never even got a phone call. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now then I seen that they had gotten in trouble because they were facing an audit. And the auditor who came from Madison, I believe, happened to be the nephew or of some relation to somebody high up in the organization. So what they basically did is say, okay, go light on us with this audit. And then they hired him in an important position within their organization. He had no clue what he was doing. He was totally unprepared for the job. And that started to have a snowball effect. And then everything just collapsed from there. I believe they lost the daycare, they lost the lunch program, they lost the weatherization program. It all just kind of went down. But you knew when you look at somewhere like there or somewhere even like Northcott Neighborhood Center has been around forever. And they sit in the middle of a real seriously black community.
Right.
Now, how do you get hired and what do they actually do? You got to know somebody, somebody cousin. I would say the same thing about the Urban League. And I listen, anything that could possibly contribute to solidarity, I'm with, right?
Yeah, right.
Black elitist, right? We're talking about the black boule. We're talking about cronyism. We're talking about black gatekeepers who gatekeep on advancement opportunities from others, right? You're not hiring based on qualification. You're hiring based on familiarity. I think that's what burdens a lot of these organizations because you refuse to open up the gates, right? They say in the mob, they say you open up the books, right? You got to make some new men, right? Like, so I look at SDC as that because how does this individual, especially, somebody like, and I'm not trying to, belittle Latino people, but we make up the majority of this city. And I can't hang my hat on this, but I think SDC did a lot of business, probably a great majority of their business on the north side, which is predominantly black. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh no, for sure, absolutely on both points. So then, how do we allow a Hispanic? I mean, somebody like yourself who has demonstrated leadership. Yeah.
How is this done? And it's not like you're not isolated. You're not ostracized like Outlaw Radio. You're accepted. People like you. People appreciate you. You've been acknowledged as one of the most powerful or influential black men in the state, right? I seen that too. Congratulations.
And a good dude too, man.
Yeah. So how is it that? And it should be more noise to say, "Yo, we got to get the essay up out of there and get Walter." I'm paraphrasing. We got to get him.
What is up with you,
Duran? We got to get Roberto Duran up out of there and get Walter in there.
Hey, say, man.
He said get American and me out the office.
Come on, man. Hey, say, man. I'm part Latino while you doing all this, bro.
Hey, man, well, I'm sorry, Jefe.
No, that's good.
I got Spanish employees. You're going to get me killed tomorrow.
They don't like us anyways. Go get Walter.
But that's actually why I went up in there because when I saw, I was minding my own business because, this is all volunteer. I got stuff to do, mouths to feed, but I just got so vexed because I wasn't hearing anybody say anything about SDC while it was dying. I said, man, is nobody going to say nothing? Anybody? For real? Nobody? And I just watched and watched and watched. Nobody said nothing. And then this guy got in there. And the people started telling me about him. I said, well, why did y'all let him get in there if he's like that? So that's when I started to jump in. And then I tried the diplomatic route. Just because that's all the energy I had. I don't want to come in. I chose not to come in strong on it.
Right.
Just because, just on GP and not to make it that, Walter versus somebody or black versus Hispanic. So let me just be cool and say, hey, we're not following this rule. We're not following that rule. And then the numbers didn't work out. He was less rational than I thought and got worse and dug in. And I said, this guy is not going to move at all. So now, just recently, I started to flex in a different way.
Okay.
So I'll move him around sooner or later. It's because he needs to move around.
So I think the question that everybody here wants to know, and
Yeah.
including myself, how
Should
can
we call ICE?
how can we support you? Like, what would it take for the community to say, let's get together, let's have some sort of movement, so we can let these people on this board know we want Walter Lanier put in charge of this, and we want SDC to remain a part of the community because it was a very essential part of our community. So what can we do to support you in this endeavor?
Well, the way to start doing that is to communicate that first to the board, and via email. That would be the easiest and quickest way, because that's the only people paying attention right now. And it's a new board. They're moving slow. Some of my colleagues, it's just to apply that public pressure.
So is there like is there a suggestion box, or is there a centralized email?
I'd have to send you the email addresses. Would have require a little bit of organization, not a lot, but I just have to send them to you or whoever wants to. So if anybody wants to do that, email me at pastorlanier@gmail.com, pastorlanier@gmail.com, and then I can give you the email addresses. So that's
I'm
one.
just gonna text you. I can't write all that.
Oh yeah, Sean, you got my information. You can do that.
I just text you, man.
You're trying to flex. I'm just gonna text.
And then the second thing, the three things, Kevin. Second thing is the next time we have a real public meeting is to show up at that public meeting, and I can get that information out. And then the third thing, regardless, one of my next moves is just to have a public meeting with the community, regardless of what this guy does, because the community needs to hear from SDC.
Can we host it?
Do that.
Can we host it?
Oh, hold on, Sean. Hold on. No. I don't want to host it. I don't want to host it. I don't. I'm gonna tell you why. I'd like to be there somewhere in the background, just chilling. Right. I'm a fly on the wall, but I'm not really interested because my ego does not desire that. I don't want. Listen, I enjoy my anonymity so much. I'm glad I can go places without people walking up to me. I don't want to be eating dinner with my wife and then all my food get cold because somebody want to talk policy with me. I just like to be behind the scenes. So what I was going to say is, if you could email me the address, Sean, you and I can work together to create a post, and we can just start driving this post over social media. Ian, you do a lot in this as well. And let's try to organize the initial awareness to say, hey, here's a situation with SDC. We got a brother right here that needs to be placed in charge, and this is being overlooked, and we can just push that for you. Now, if it gets to the point where you say, okay, our next public meeting is coming up, Sean, you can go. You can represent Outlaw Radio. Kamar, you could always go. But I'm just saying, let's have a starting point. Before we talk about the public meeting, let's create some awareness around who people can email and say, listen, we need to get Walter Lanier into this seat. Y'all start emailing these people and letting them know. Like I want to at least do that part. That's something I know I can contribute.
Yes, that works.
I'll put it. My bad.
Go ahead, Sean. No, go, Sean.
I can put the template together, man, where we can put it online and we'll figure it out and email it directly to them. People just input their information.
Yep.
Yes, let's do that. And we don't want to make it real complicated. Like, make it simple. So you could just send an email that says, I am in favor of Walter Lanier being placed in charge of SDC. And let's just mass emails. And if they see this, they're going to have to say, oh, okay, listen, there's a public demand for this. And you got to go. Public meeting. So.
Dominoes, FA, Dominoes.
Right. I mean, come on, man. Latinos for Trump. Stop it. We don't play like that. Go ahead, Sean. You point your finger.
Let me add on to that though, real quick, just so you know. I have been contacted by plenty of folks in the Latino community telling me about this guy.
Okay.
He has no love. He just eased in nice to a situation.
And I'm glad you said that, because I do want to say shout out to my brother Robert Miranda too. I'm joking when I say, us against Latinos, because Robert Miranda shows us love. That is my brother. And if we call Robert Miranda, if it's not in the best interest of the people, Robert Miranda is gonna ride with us. So I would like to even know what he thinks about this guy. So I reach out to Robert Miranda.
Yeah, he doesn't have no backing. It's just he just slid in at just the right time.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
Well, we gonna have to
he slid
find
in
out
while
now.
SDC was naked,
Okay.
basically, and took advantage.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the kind of stuff we got to put a stop to. So I wonder why at this forum at WNOV today this wasn't discussed. Right? If we talking about empowerment and we talking about economic development, and here's an agency, like my brother said, that was designed to take our issues to these people to say we need an economic infusion in our city.
Because, right? That's collective power, right? And these people understand when you see collective power, that means that I no longer have my power. My silo is now broken. Why would I support something that's going to move me out the way?
What?
Let me add to that, Sean. I have had some people try to whisper in my ear and say, "Man, just let it die."
See,
just let it die, Lanier. What are you doing? Let it die.
Yeah,
and I'm saying, no, that's crazy. Why would I do that?
So then, what's left? Okay, so if SDC is a thing of the past, and I know there was massive fraud, but OIC is a thing of the past, and rest in peace to Janetta Robinson. What she had, CYD is a thing of the past. We talk about the Urban League. Well, first of all, let's talk about the paralysis by analysis that is the NAACP in Milwaukee. Because I can't really put my finger on what the hell they doing. And Kamar, one of the most fun episodes we ever did is, I believe, Brother Fred Royal was in charge. And this is when I would do live here from my studio. And I guess this brother thought that I was coming like a cabbage, all head, no ass, right? So by the time he got here, and I started to question what they were doing, and he said, well, people don't go to the website to see it. And I said, well, I did, and I printed it all out. And it was little of nothing on there. so and right now, I think they would even have to admit the NAACP is a shadow of what it once was. I see that the black and white ball is done by the Urban League, and they give out a lot of awards, and they raise a lot of money, and they look nice. And it's always good to see beautiful black people dressed up. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, what are you doing? So if SDC goes away, now we're down to the NAACP and the Urban League. That leaves a tremendous hole to me in terms of advocacy for black people, foundational black Americans. That leaves a tremendous hole. So I think we should fight for this. And when I know people say, well, Kev, you can't go at WNOV because they can't talk about everything, but I think there needs to be a priority when we start to talk about economic development and we start to talk about things that are needed. I feel like sometimes they leave certain people off because like I was saying, that person's presence might make somebody else look bad, right? So if my brother Walter is there to say to the mayor, hey man, you are sitting idly by because we don't need you to give us money, but at least give me an endorsement to say you support my leadership, because that can be an agency that can help you usher in a black economic development plan.
Straight up. And by the way, the mayor has been supportive, so I got to give him a shout out on that. But he's trying to hold it down for SDC. It's just some weird politics.
Okay.
Sean said it's something that was on point. The collective power is real, and it's what we have to flex to make a difference. It's what we need to flex for SDC. Doesn't make any sense to let SDC die. It could be a very powerful organization for quickly, because it's written into it's in a state statute, it's in a county ordinance, it's in a city ordinance with very specific directions about what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to exercise power for the people.
Okay. Well,
that's what it's.
Well, they always advertise it as an anti-poverty. It's supposed to be an anti-poverty organization. So I'm like, you just said attack poverty. Duh.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Walter.
No, that's really it, man. When I started reading about them, I just went over there to kind of battle for it on GP. But then when I started reading the mission, I was like, oh, well, I can get with this all day. We get to do this. This is the squad who's supposed to be here. And we're supposed to do what? Report to the mayor and the county executive and the governor and tell them what we think about poverty and policy with elected people. Man,
Wow.
we can get down with that.
I
See,
could.
this was never advertised. I was never informed that SDC was supposed to be not only heading this direction but leading this direction, right? I was just
Sean, when you just
I was never told that.
check it. I didn't know either, but when I read those three things, it's supposed to exercise power. That's what it's in my when I read it. Oh, this organization is supposed to exercise power, speak truth to power, be at the power tables, convene the power people.
I want to be a part of that, Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a part of that.
I'm a cheerleader for foolishness, so I've researched them. They've been around since the 60s, but the name of it is social development, right? So it's like, what does that mean? That means there needs to be some development within the Black community amongst our representation. Once again, an organization like this should be leading the charge to say, if there's going to be mass construction in downtown Milwaukee and paid for by the taxpayers, there should be minority contractors and minority employees for these firms. If they're out of state, they need to pick up some brothers when they get to Milwaukee.
Thank you.
So, and then you turn and you say to MPS, infrastructure is the wave of the future, because we have a country right now that needs new highways and byways and roadways and streets and railroads and bridges and trestles. And so that is infrastructure, and that's where the money is. So we need to put a demand on MPS within your $1.6 billion budget. There needs to be vocational education across the board. Now, I know, Walter, I'm getting away from what we're talking about with SDC.
You good, though, but still you're talking about power, so you good.
Well, but I feel like SDC is like an organization that could bring these things to the table, because all that comes in terms of economic development.
That's what he just said that they could do. If I just heard it correctly, everything that we talk about, everything that we talk about that's needed on this show, SDC is supposed to have the power to go and be that voice and that structure that says, hey, this is what the people want, and we demand it, and you're going to give it to us. We have not had that. We have not experienced that type of power.
So if we talk about involvement, now if this agency was to come back, where I would like to be involved at is a barking dog. You can send me to address those organizations. You can send me to address those boards. I'm getting my statistics together. We're gonna have a tight, efficient staff. We're gonna go and present our case, and we're gonna be steadfast about it. This is what my approach would be, and we're gonna harp on it. It's almost like what you have to do, and I say this because we complain about the game and we cry, but we don't play the game. We have to do what white folks do. They have special interest groups. They have lobbyists. Okay. Who's the black lobbyist in Madison right now? What black special interest group? Is there a black political action committee in this city? Because I'd like to get involved with them. I don't know where that's at. And even we used to have this congressional black caucus, which I say, what are they doing now?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, Kevin, it's new and it's emerging. It's real slow. It's taking baby steps, but the Wisconsin Black Legislative Caucus, led by Senator Dora Drake, they are starting to make some moves. Again, it's slow, but they're together. So that's new. It's on the same page. So that's new. And they started posting listening sessions.
You said her name is Dora Drake.
Okay. Drake. She good people. She good people.
And so they're starting to we're making some moves, man. I mean, I think the thing about Milwaukee, I think Sean said it earlier. You probably say it all the time. We have skills and talent. We just got to be better organized. We have it.
And that's why I come in.
We got the squad.
A lot of people take their ball and go home.
Yeah, but like you said, you want to be a barking dog? I don't mind taking care of the gatekeepers.
Okay.
I can be Charles Oakley, man. Don't let the smile and the pastor fool you. You got to take somebody to move somebody around. Those gatekeepers shouldn't stop us as we move together. That's our challenge. Yeah, but we can do it.
I've seen his daddy play, so I know he know how to move people out of the way. I seen him in the lane doing his thing. You know what I mean?
That's
I
correct.
want to say this. This is where we're going to start. Everything has to have a starting point.
Yeah.
Let Sean and I, and I'm committing Sean to it, whether he likes it or not.
No, I'm in.
Send me the information that we need, where the emails need to go, and Sean and I will start this campaign. And I'm not ruling you, Ian, or you, Kamar, out if y'all want to, jump in. I'm just saying, I know, Kamar, you running your thing, so I ain't try to put no extra work on you, right? You trying to do a template and then make some tea. I want you to focus on the tea.
Doing this.
And when we have a live,
I'm gonna jump in where I can.
and that's what I'm saying. When you do a public meeting, let Kamar come and be a vendor and sell his vitality, so the people will be nourished.
Come on.
I might be able to get some of these OGs out here.
You might be, man.
Come on. Yeah.
So just Walter, just send us the information, man. And we even if we need to meet, like Sean said, I never come out of my back cave, but I don't mind some, we meet up somewhere and just iron out some formalities, because I, for one, am sick of the bullshit. Excuse my French. I know you are a man of the cloth. Excuse my French.
A real
I'm sick of it. It makes no sense. And I see the same people in the same press conference having a meeting about having a meeting year after year, and things are not getting better. They are getting worse. And as much as I respect the mayor, because I think he's an affable young brother, I think he's ineffective as a leader, because I don't think he has the grit. And I also don't think he thinks outside the box enough. I don't think he has a revolutionary bone in his body. He may need to invest in some literature and read about Huey P. Newton and read about Bobby Seals and read about some of our great black leaders who had just a bit of militant nature to them. One of my favorite historical figures, probably my favorite, is Adam Clayton Powell. This is a brother who took care of business in Washington in the 40s, in the face of the Dixiecrats, in the face of congressmen and senators who openly used the word nigger on the floor. He couldn't even eat with them. He had to go across the street to the black restaurant. This brother passed more legislation than any politician, even to this day, on any level. Because he was a revolutionary at heart. Okay. And if you look at his lineage of his daddy being the pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem, which at that time was a epicenter for black culture throughout the Harlem Renaissance, these kinds of leaders are needed. And I think we have some of those leaders here, but we don't cultivate them and we don't mind them. We only go with, a lot of times we let them tell us who our leader should be.
Yeah, you're speaking the truth.
And we'll just go for it. Like, but he's black though. They say all skin folk ain't kinfolk, right? So I just think there needs to be a movement for new blood. I've been saying this for years. So I want to kick this off. I really am. I've been looking for something to do.
Let's go.
And so all you got to do is forward me that information, my brother. And we will get this thing started. You got anything else you want to put out here? I want to respect your time. I know you getting late. You gotta count the donuts.
We good.
Okay.
The only other thing I'll say, and you know this with more detail, I almost don't want to say it because we might go into a long conversation, but I got to wrap. But we need to touch MATC more than a little bit too, because the culture over there is not getting any better; it's getting worse. They got rid of their multicultural department and they fired the African American advisor, they fired the Hispanic advisor, fired the Indigenous Native American advisor, Hispanic Latina. And then they act like they had to do it, but that was not really the deal. So we're going to be pushing on them a little bit too. And so I'll hold that for another conversation, but I know you already know.
Well, yeah, I was just finna say, MATC left a very sour taste in my mouth.
Mine too.
The way they played, I got played at MA. Now, don't get me wrong.
My son got played.
Yeah. My employment there, first of all, it was something that I had been just like kind of building to do. I'd just been working like this is where I want to be. And I got down there and it is BS. And it was and the way that I got clipped, sad to say, there was another black person involved. And it was crazy. And it let a lot of wind out of my sails because I was committed and I was down there, but we were making a difference with what we were doing with the MPS kids. And you can go during my time as the coordinator for this office. The graduation rates were up. The attendance rates were up. Things were up.
Yep.
It was going. And then it was like,
Yeah.
yo. And then when I found out who was put, it's a whole, like Walter said, we could come back and talk about MATC because.
But these are two institutions, both of them.
Yes.
That should have been and still can be powerful, but they will not be powerful until the community moves. When the community moves and makes some good, strategic, strong demands, then those institutions will shift. That's the quietest voice right now in Milwaukee with these public institutions is the community. Once we flex community voice, those institutions cannot just be good. MATC could be great.
Absolutely.
It could be the most powerful institution in terms of change in this whole city, maybe even in the Midwest, but it won't happen unless we flex and stay and hold it highly accountable.
Yep. And it's taxpayer funded in the first place. So it's ours.
Right.
And I think that's what people don't realize. A lot of these games that are being played on us are being played by people who we pay and organizations who we fund. So it's really time to just put a stop to it all, man. This is my frustration. This is why I have no friends. This is why nobody likes me and they won't invite me anywhere. But I'm not going to change. It is what it is. Sean, give me one more so we can let Brother Walter get his rest.
Yeah, well, I want to say something about that in correlation to the dude at SDC, right? We got this. He's this dude in power, and he's not doing nothing. And the community sees this, right? Unless something is done, right, and somebody is put in place that the community can have faith in and believe in, right? If we can put Walter in place and he does that work, then we have a greater chance of removing the leadership at MATC and replacing them with somebody that's going to do the work and uphold that ethical promise, right? So SDC can be the foundation of bringing back these powerful institutions, right? And
at least improving our power within these institutions. I think the problem is we have no power in no organization, but we put the bill for everything. We pay for everything, but we have no influence on. It's like, no, you just stay in the basement. Wait, I paid for it, right? You cool? Just stay down here. So. No, we'll get you. Look, what we can do is even put another show where we'll bring you back and you'll have way more time to even elaborate because I don't want one thing to run into another. I really want to focus on trying to get this SDC thing done.
Let's do it.
So all you got to do is forward me the information, my brother, and we got your back.
I got you, man. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, Walter.
All right, then.
Yes, sir. Outlaw Radio, Hump Day Edition, man. Talk of the town. It's funny when I be naming these shows, I don't be thinking about how slick it's actually gonna run together. You know what I'm saying?
That was my dude. Shot Robbie D had a shot called that Talk of the Town.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Christopher Lawrence said Orlando's scared to call in. I say this once, I say it again. No, I really don't believe Orlando is scared to call in or be on the show. I don't believe it. You gonna have to prove that to me.
Orlando said he was gonna stay off the show because he didn't want the show to always turn towards him. He felt like he was taken away from the show.
Well, he needs to holler at me. I don't know why he told you that and didn't tell me.
Well, I just want to add one thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kumar.
It's all good. Remember, I told you it don't be Orlando going at nobody. It be somebody at him. Like he ain't even on the show. He ain't on the phone. Why are we even talking about Orlando?
Right. Yeah.
That's the third shot. The third straight tonight.
You see what I'm saying? Why even talk about him? He ain't even here. We got to talk about a whole bunch of other shit that's important.
We just got done talking about how we need to build some power to change some stuff, and we just went right back to Orlando and the Trump shit. Just
it's all good. I understand. This is Ian. He's
Yeah, I
talking
don't
about the
know.
532. Oh, he said it's bound by Interstate 43 to the east
Mhm.
and 27th Street to the west, North Avenue to the south. So that means A.L. Smith is not in 53206. That's what that means. Because
I got
A.L.
that
Smith
from
is on.
Well, what is
WISN.
it then?
Well, it's got. I thought it was. I don't know, but it ain't 53206 because it ends at 27th Street. As far as it says to the west. So, and A.L. Smith is on what 35th Street.
No, it's on 27th to 35th.
Well, but okay, so it covers part of 20. There's a building on 27th that used to be part of it, but the main it is kind of between 35th and so it's a big campus.
Yeah.
Okay, I wonder what actual area code they put it under. I'd like to see what that is. Thank you for that, Ian. Erica Hunt,
is it 53210?
I don't know.
I'm seeing 53224. That's
wow.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
She said, "Did y'all get into the show called Handmaids?" I didn't.
What?
I did not, Erica. I usually don't watch I don't watch Housewives and shit.
Handmaid. What
many women arguing. I'd be like, my wife was watching it. No, it was like the Handmaid's Tale where I know the premise because my wife was watching it. It wasn't one of those shows we got to, you and your wife have shows y'all watch together.
I thought some porno stuff. I'm about to say I ain't watching that.
You said what?
I thought some porno stuff, Handmade. I ain't watching that mess.
Okay, because you don't watch porn, right? Christopher said, biggest obstacle to black fathers is not prison.
No, we're not going there tonight.
We're
not going there tonight, KB.
Hey,
like
and my response was Kevin gonna touch on this one because I saw that comment like 30 minutes ago.
I love this one. Let me
I
get
knew
in
that
this.
was coming.
He said the biggest obstacle to black fathers is not prison or jail, it's black women. Let's be honest about it. I so disagree. I
knew you was gonna say.
And hold on. I think it's a cop-out for a man to blame women for that. Now, are there some difficult situations and some difficult women? There are. But a lot of it has to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this, with your selection process. See, there's a such thing as vetting the candidate. I don't know who. Somebody giving me an echo. Somebody got something turned up. I need you to turn it down. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I hear it too.
That's Kamar. Kamar, yo, you giving us an echo. I don't want you was tipping off the OG moment. I don't want them to hear it yet. No. So what I'm saying is, I don't see how you can say the biggest obstacle to black fathers is black women, because there are a lot of black women who say, okay, we don't have a hope of a relationship, but just be a father to your child. And the brother refuses to do it because he's in his feelings. And so there are some women out here who are a detriment to a father seeing his child. But guess what? There's this thing we have called a court of law. And this is where I fault brothers at, because they get so lazy, right? Just like that woman can take time out of her day and go down there and get you on a child support order, you can take one day off work and go down there and go through the motions to say, I want to make an adjustment to the motion. They will allow you to do so. I don't make this much money. I make that much money. We have placement. I'm not getting to see my child. You can state your case. So if you're just going to sit back and say, man, she on some bullshit, then you're a coward. You're a coward. Now, if it's an extreme case where you do have a woman who's intentionally setting out to disrupt that process, it is what it is, and I feel sorry for you. But I think the number one thing is your selection process, because you ain't supposed to go out here and just knock up every woman you see. See, meeting a partner or somebody that you're going to procreate with is a serious thing, because you want to make sure you ain't mixing up the wrong DNA. Now, does bullshit happen? Yes, it does. Okay, if it was an accident. Okay, well, own up to the accident and be a man and say, nah, I'm going to take care of this baby. I know she ugly. I know the baby mama ugly. I know she bald-headed or she fat, or you just thought you was going to be able to creep in and creep out, but you slipped. Hidna. So you got to take care of
cognitive issues.
Right. Well, yeah, that's your fault. That's on you. So I disagree, my brother. Anybody else got something they want to put on this in terms of him saying?
I'm not touching that.
Kamar, you want to go on this? Because I know you love black women like I do. So go ahead, brother.
What was the question? I was
Comment
both.
that he made. This is Christopher Lawrence. Shout out to Christopher Lawrence. You're welcome, my brother. I appreciate your contribution.
He's in the Republican Party too, by the way.
He said
I really ain't got nothing to say about that, man.
Biggest obstacles to black fathers is not prison, jail. It's black women. Let's be honest about it. Black women are the biggest.
I beg to differ to that.
Okay.
I beg to differ. You know what I mean? I think the child support office may have a bit to do with that. Because see, my situation is a little different, right? All situations ain't the same. Some brothers need that shit. But I think they need to vet it a bit, right? Because see, the child support office is a big fucking scam, really. You know what I'm saying? These white folks want your money, and then they give your money to the baby mama, right? But the thing is this: if you can't pay it, you down on your luck or whatever, man, they can lock your ass up, and then you really can't do nothing for your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they wasn't involved, baby mama can't lock you up in a room. But these white folks can. So to me, I feel like the biggest obstacle would be child support. Child support can hinder you from going out the country, from traveling the world. Child support can hinder you from doing all type of shit. That's a fucking felony.
Right.
You know what I mean? Listen, I done took care of my kids their whole life. But I had to deal with these child support people their whole life too. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason they was on child support because me and their mothers wasn't together, and it was something with the system. Maybe they was getting insurance or SNAP or whatever the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? So they wound up getting on child support. So I feel like the system is more of a hindrance to black fathers than black women. Now, in some cases, I'm sure, you know what I mean? There's some women that weaponize the kids. You know what I'm saying? So in them cases, yeah. But now you can't just say that. You can't just say the biggest problem of black fathers is black women. That's just fucking stupid.
I'd like to know his reasoning behind that before I even come down on him and criticize him.
Hey, and if you want to be honest, the biggest problem of black fathers is black fathers. We chose to lay down with the motherfuckers we laid down with and didn't vet them properly.
Just said selection is everything. Your selection process is everything.
Accountability is a motherfucker. Keep pointing fingers.
And now you see why I didn't touch it. It's just too much.
I've heard it before. It's not like we're unfamiliar with that stuff. I've heard that statement.
Me and Kristen went back and forth about Trump and a lot of other shit lately too.
A lot of the time, that's a black man that don't get along with his baby mama because they still fucking or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, that's the only time I see niggas having problems with their baby mamas is when they still fucking. Yeah. Let's be honest. Real OGs know that.
Yeah.
I ain't had no problems. Hey, listen, I ain't had no problems with none of my baby mamas. When we was done, we was done.
Right. But you stayed in your kids' lives.
Go sit. Go.
Okay. I don't have a baby mama, so I don't know. I have the mother of my children. So, and that was a selection process. I chose to be very stingy with my DNA for a very long time. Was not really into sharing it. And so, but you know, my situation, like Kamar said, situations vary, but I still would like to know what justifies his opinion on that. Like, why do you have that stance? Because before we even criticize him, I think it's important to understand what his mentality is. Because we don't know if he's scarred, bitter.
Well, you know. Some men blame it on the women that they on child support. But again, we chose to lay down with these women. And
he has custody of his
women, usually they force the women, and usually they force the women on child support.
Hold on.
If they get any kind of help.
What Ian
said he has custody of his kids.
Yeah, and that's an anomaly because usually it's the woman. They do a lot of events together. Him and that sister actually they got a pretty good relationship. I didn't even know they wasn't together. But that might go to what Kamar said. But Chris is married now, so it's a different situation. But yeah, he got some
trauma in his life. He got some trauma in his life.
Just for shits and giggles, Ian, is he now married to a white woman?
You know what? I wasn't gonna say shit, but you just said I ain't say nothing. That's the to my left. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
No answer is an answer. No answer is an answer.
Listen to me, my brother.
That's now you know why the question was posted.
Well,
You know they
that's why you
say
feel like it's black women. That's the problem.
right.
That's,
If
yeah,
it
that's
looks
it
like
right there.
shit, it
He
smells
got,
like shit.
he
It's
got a
probably
white
shit.
wife. He got a white wife.
I don't see nothing right now.
Yeah, I see it.
No, I got the glasses on.
Don't sit,
I see it.
D-Ball. Bro.
Once again, where there's smoke, there's fire. And normally, when a black man goes over to the other side, and he becomes whitewashed and transformed, he looks back at the sister, and all of a sudden, what she was about wasn't good enough, right? Like so. And once again, I'm speculating because I don't know. I just need to know whether his wife was a snow queen or a black queen. But you answered that. So Walter was laughing at him. He said, "LOL,
Hey, and that ain't no
LOL."
shot. That's just to figure out why he feel like black women are black fathers.
He said he's about to call in. He just texted me.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Steve, hold on. Let me finish the chat room. Steve Burnside. He said, "What happened to the SDC funds?
They gone.
They have been depleted somehow, and then that was the problem that they ran out of money. It was malfeasance. It was misappropriation. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's criminally prosecuted as usual because the right people did the right things and got away with it." A said, "Okay, had a customer on the line. What we talking about?" Ian's doing roll call with heaven knows who. I don't know any of these people he's telling to come on. Christopher says, NAACP, Urban League, and etc. was nowhere during the floods. What do they even do besides the driver's ed that is state funded? I would agree with you on that, Christopher. I have no clue. I have no clue what they do. He said, email the friendly blast, others on social hand in their comments and on your socials. I think he's talking about the campaign for Walter. He said sometimes it's cool to let something die and rebuild, but why let something die that already has stature? Like if this is already written into the books, why try to reinvent the wheel? Like
and why let a source of power, right, that has been untapped?
Carl, you got to turn your device down.
Okay, that's Chris.
Okay. Let me finish the chat room, Sean, so I can get to Chris.
Yeah.
He's saying WNON ain't the name on it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Homer invites guests and open his platform. So address your issues, brother. WNON ain't the name on it. He's on the line. So we'll see what he's talking about. Said the mayor has power to handle this, and this is all Chris. We got him on the line, so we'll have to say we'll let him talk. Sharita said that A.L. Smith has to be 53210. Earl said 53216. Of course.
No, I found it.
Ewok is in the chat room, and he says kindly and very diplomatically, "Fuck Orlando. Ain't no love for top tap dancing."
Oh Lord.
That's the problem. You can't hug a nigga that's bad for the multitude. You can't hug a nigga that's bad for the multitude. Can't be friends with somebody who's friends with our enemies. This is more Christopher. He's on the line. We'll get to him. Walter saying hit me, and he's putting the email pastorlanier@gmail.com. I don't know where this comes from because Earl Henning is kind of just coming out of left field. Maybe this is in regards to what he was talking about.
Quick question.
He said, hold on. He said, just wanted some pussy. I don't know what that means, Earl. I don't know. So we got Christopher Lawrence, I'm assuming, on the line.
Yes, I'm on the line.
How you doing, my brother? Thank you for calling in. What's going on with you?
Hey, not bad. Doing well. I appreciate you reading the comment. I guess I should call in and, Ian's a longtime friend. I've known Ian a long time. So I've been watching the show. It's really entertaining. I love to see it. It's very informative. So I really like it. So thank you, Ian, for the tad tip. I want to just clarify the comment because there was some confusion. When I say the biggest obstacle, I mean, obviously outside the individual themselves, because there are people who just simply refuse to be a father. Like, I'm talking about all the other obstacles for those who want to be a father. It's not jail, prison. It's not finances. It's largely a court system that is very hostile towards Black men. And it's Black women in the court system in combination that is very hostile towards men having custodial rights. There's a reason most custodial decisions favor women. And obviously because more Black men and
and black women have kids out of wedlock. I'm one of them. The court is obviously a lot more hostile towards the men, and it's often involved. It's not a court versus black man decision. It is a single woman in the court who are hostile towards the men. And listen, we know this from court records. We know this from data of how many single couples have equal placement? Very few. That is a hostile relationship, and that's the biggest obstacle is that court system. But it's not just the court system, because the one guy said, yes, child support. No, it's the woman in the child support system who comes together to attack the black man. That is actually what happened. So that's what I'm coming at it from. But I do want to not say, I didn't want to leave the impression that it's not
right.
black men being holding themselves accountable. That's obviously the largest thing. I'm saying outside of that, I should probably have been more clear. It is black women. And I think it's by far the case. And by the way, I heard someone said I had like problems or issues or something. No, I won my cases. I've raised my daughters 100% of the time. So I won mine.
Okay.
Most black men aren't me. They don't win them. I know how to win them. I won mine.
Okay.
So that doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, I think the issue is when somebody makes a statement like that, we don't really know where they're coming from. That's why I asked that you call in and explain it. But Kamar, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as far as the child support thing, you know what I mean? Women, if they getting help from the state, they forced on child support.
Hell yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They forced on it. Now, you do have some situations where women ain't getting no help, but the father, like I say, they some dumbasses and they don't take care of their kids, so they got to get took to court. You know what I mean? And I don't know no mother that's just going to give up her kids. You're going to have to go to court and fight this shit. And whether you're talking about child support or domestic violence, you're right. The state go to the woman's side for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean it's her fault. Like I say, we got to be accountable for our shit. We chose the people we laid down with.
So let me
That's not
say
true.
something, please.
A man
It's true.
can
I told my baby mama.
placement.
What you mean it ain't true?
Let me say something.
You chose your baby mama. You chose your kid's mother.
Hold on. Let me say something, because I got one son by another lady, right? And that was the worst decision I made in my life, was messing with her. Luckily, my son came up out of it, but it was a terrible decision at the time. She wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And she did put them people in my business. And not only that, she gave my son to her auntie. And I tried to go through the process, everything, man. And them people down there basically gave me the middle finger. I didn't see my son for 12 years, right? Still had to pay child support to somebody that wasn't his parent,
I feel like
even though I was in a position to take care of him, right? But she initiated all of this. So I understand what he's saying has some validity to it. It really does.
Let me ask this though, real quick. I think we skirting over one important thing here.
What?
So we just established that the courts, in terms of child support, are woman friendly, correct?
Yes.
It's not just
Which means, and I know this for a fact, there are white men who are getting their ass kicked by child support as well.
That's true.
So what I'm saying is, we
but
can't.
How many other white men do you?
Hold on, Sean. Let me finish, Sean.
Okay.
So we can't solely say it's black women. We would have to say women and the court system. I think attaching black to it makes it inaccurate.
I think if we can
but
the court system
obviously
play a part in it.
shows appealing to black people.
Hold on, Chris.
You're right.
I want to make sure everybody's heard. So
go ahead.
Go ahead, and we're gonna get Chris, and then we'll go to Sean.
I was just saying, if we admitting that the court system is playing a part in this, the court system wasn't in the room when we made the kids. You know what I mean? So maybe it's the court system if they women friendly. You know what I mean? That's the flaw right there by being woman friendly.
Right, that's what we just said.
Even if it was man friendly, that would be the problem.
Right.
It should be non-biased. Like Sean say, he trying to get his kids from his son's auntie. That shouldn't be no fucking problem. It shouldn't be a no-brainer.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You
Now,
see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, it's the courts.
Okay, so you saying it's the court, it's not the woman.
Y'all had to go to court to fight for y'all kids. Why you gotta fight for your kids with the court?
So Kamar, you're saying it ain't the woman at all.
I had
it's
to
the
do that
court
shit
system,
too.
right?
Huh?
I said, so basically what you're saying is it's not the woman, it's the court system, period.
Yeah,
It's not just
you know what I
the
mean?
court system.
Because see, the court system, they don't know how to go by a case-by-case basis.
It's
They
one
just got
size
a
fits
flat-
all.
It's just a
Right.
flat line, like it is
Right.
this or it's this.
Well,
Now I want to hold on, Sean. I want to give Chris a chance because he's been trying to add to it. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
So you make a good point that it is a woman thing, not a black woman thing. But you got to understand the scale between single black fathers and single black families and white families is different. So it's a more astronomical issue, larger issue in the black community.
Got you.
The problem is here's the train of thought I think everyone's missing is that if a black father can take care of his kids, has the means, a job, a place, it should be equal placement. But do black women argue for that in court? No, because when you get equal placement, well,
Money.
support is neutral because you split the placement. So that they always ask for primary custody in their coach by legal aid group to ask for that.
Okay.
And what does that mean? That means in child support order.
Gotcha.
It should be equal placement. And not how many black women ask for that. And guess what? A father, no matter what, if you're single, you're separated, it should be equal if it's a person that wants to be involved in a child life and has the means. But do black women argue for that? If you go in the court system, it's almost never, ever the case.
And shout out to ones who do. Because I don't want to throw black women. I don't want to throw black women under no bus. I think if we could just say women, because I think a lot of women who experience breakups are spiteful when they get into their courtroom.
My ex-wife.
And you know what they say. You know what they say. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And if she has an advantage, she's going to wear your ass out.
And I was talking to a sister who has 3 kids, and she had never asked for no child support from the dude she was with. He just passed away recently, but she never asked for it. So you're right.
I've dealt with single mothers who are in through my employment, and I say, you know, they're struggling. And Mr. Barnes, I'm about to get evicted. You know, my utilities are about to be cut off. My job is to locate resources.
Yeah.
So I will say to them, well, do you receive any kind of, you know, assistance from the father? Well, no, not really. And my first question is, can I ask why? And a lot of them will say, well, I didn't want to put them people in his business.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them say that. So it ain't, that's why I'm saying we can't necessarily throw the sisters under the bus, because there's a lot of sisters out here who's struggling right now. And they saying, I just don't want to do that to him. And he be egregious. He all over the place.
They from the hood and they know how the system is too. They don't want to do that.
Go ahead, Sean.
So we talking about the court system, but it's not just the court system, right? It's the social services system as a whole, and they work in tandem with the court system. And a lot of these systems are put in predicaments where, okay, for me to receive these services, I can't even have a man in my home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't know that those parameters still exist.
Oh no, they still exist.
Yeah, they do, Kev.
That causes friction as well. And
because they don't do home visits like they used to.
I also want, but it's in the lease paperwork. I also want to say, I've never met a white dude in jail for child support.
I've dealt with some of them who've been in jail for child support.
Have you?
I've dealt with white men. This is professionally. I've dealt with white men who were homeless and could not afford. They were living in a halfway house or living in a temporary shelter because they didn't make enough through the job they had, and they had back child support. So when they do get a paycheck, it's already minimized from the back child support. So he effectively does not have enough money to pay rent anywhere. I've dealt with, and these are white men who I live with. I had to move back in with my mom. She's since remarried. Her new husband actually has money. I've gone to her to say, just give me a reduction so that I can have somewhere to stay. She won't let up. Right. And
I've seen people with minimum child support couldn't hold a house down because the job they had wasn't making much money.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they couldn't get a job to make much money because they was some kind of felon or already fucked up in the game. You know what I mean? Usually.
Or when everybody's just not, you know. So let me say this. Okay, this is kind of cold. Somebody got to serve the fries. I like my fries hot, right? Like somebody has to do. Somebody got to mop the floor, right? Like, and I'm what I'm saying is, some people don't have these highly marketable skills, but what they do is they get in where they fit in. So they find a position in which they can utilize what they can do, and they live within their means. But everybody can't be a CEO. Some people are kind of,
and then again, you know, we done got away from our own accountability again. You know what I mean? Because see, we got to admit that we chose this shit. We made the decisions that we had to live through. You see what I'm saying? That's really where the accountability lies. So we got to teach our kids this.
So Kamar,
accountability is everything, and the community ain't got it.
But it's accountability on both sides, though.
Hold on. The only caveat to that, Kamar, is something called postpartum depression, right? Like, and listen, mental health is real, and there are some men who the relationship is cool, right? And they're together. A difficult pregnancy or a traumatic experience comes out, and this man is all of a sudden dealing with somebody who he never seen before.
Yeah.
And so he said, no, I did vet her, Kev. We were good. You saw us. This is new developments. And so when you're in that position, you got to say, but Kamar, I was careful. I did all of that. She flipped on me. Women say that to me all the time. He played Mr. Nice Guy. I didn't find out till his other 5 baby mamas until after my baby was born. He kept all this information hid from me. So sometimes you get fooled. That's my point. Sometimes you miss it. You zig when you should have zagged. It's part of life. But I'm not going to give you a break and say you still shouldn't be accountable. I think you still should do your best to be a father to the child because it's not his or her fault. Grown folk business and your relationship with your kids, they're to me, they're two different things. I see Sharita Shaw. She said, that's not what you said, Christopher. Brenda Peterson says, I'm just reading the chat room, y'all. Brenda Peterson says, child support and custody are two different things. That's a good point. Ace is agreeing.
They are two different things.
Ace is agreeing with Christopher. Hold on, let me read the chat room, Chris. Let me
go ahead.
If you're on child support, you don't have custody.
Ace says what he's saying is the black woman gets used as a secret weapon against black men. Brenda Peterson is contributing, saying, yep. She's saying, yep, 100% system forces mothers to go to child support. Ace says it's the whole feminist agenda, period. And this is Ace again in the chat room. He says, not only that, cuz the courts don't give a flying fuck about anybody involved. The courts only care because they want their fees out of the payment. The mothers don't even get all of the money, which is true. Earl Henning says some of them need to get hit by the bus. Wait, now who we talking about, Earl? Who need to get?
It could be anybody.
You love Earl Henning, man. Somebody got to turn their device down. I'm getting an echo. Make sure you got your device down. Sharita Shaw says those parameters don't exist anymore. The qualification is about household income. That's what I thought. Well, now if you live in, so I just thought about what y'all said. I work for HACM. I worked for Housing Authority.
Okay.
And there are cases where if you got a man, if he stays there, he's supposed to be on the lease, which could potentially increase your rent or make you lose your benefits. So when I said they don't do that anymore, I know in public housing they do. If he's living there, he got to be on the lease.
That's how they do it.
Right. He got to be on the lease.
They add that income together.
Yeah, median income. A said, thank you, Kev. The postpartum happened to me as well. I know some brothers who have dealt with that, man. I know some brothers who have said, like, Kev, I don't know what happened. And I seen them before the baby was born. I seen that they were a functioning couple. Or, like I said, some traumatic experience. And then you can't get over it. You can't get under it. You know, that's what George Clinton say. So high you can't get over it. So low you can't get under it. Chris, I want you to be able to put in for this because we're about to close. So I want you to be able to get your last thoughts in since you kind of initiated this conversation.
Yep. You see, we are. If you look at everybody's frame, besides Ace, Ace got it right. It's about a lot of it's about the feminist agenda. But everybody argues in the frame of the woman. We never argue in the frame of what's best for the child. If you look at most, and then black men get a stigma that most don't want to be involved in a child's life. It's actually it's the opposite. The number one, it should always be equal placement, and it should always generally side with the man, because the man is always the provider and the protector for the most part. It's just how genetics work. It works like that in every other community, even the Latino community. It just doesn't work here, and we always arguing in a frame of the black woman as opposed to the black man. This is why, but the court system is extremely biased, and you guys it's so evident here from the framing that everybody's using. No one has even mentioned the equal placement stuff. That should be the obvious thing. If you got
always be like that.
two single people, and they both can take care of the child, let them have equal placement, no support.
I argue the only reason I was even contrary to it is because I don't like for black women to get slapped with the blame for all that has befallen us as a group of people. And it's just like I don't
but
like
we
for
did
black,
for black men though.
That's what I was about to say. I don't like for black men to have to carry that weight either, because you just stated what we state all the time on Outlaw Radio. I know it's not a fact that most black men don't want to be a part of their child's life. I am a black father. Okay. I've had several women say to me, what do you tell your guys who don't take care of their kids? And I can unequivocally answer that question by saying, I don't have any guys that don't take care of their kids, because in our circle, it's not a badge of honor. It's a black eye, and we will call each other on it. You out of order, bro. You need to get your shorty, man. You out of pocket, man. That is just true mark of your masculinity being compromised. You know what I'm saying? So I do it for both sides. I won't let black men take the whole blame. I won't let black women take the whole blame. I think the most important thing we got to understand is somewhere in the middle is the truth. And if we can congregate around that and have real discourse and real discussions and real dialogue about it, I think then we could really come to some conclusions. But this is where all of y'all are right. This system does have us even separated to that point, because there's such bitterness made by this court system, because this man is pissed. I'm working my ass off. You taking half my income. This woman is pissed. I'm working my ass off. You're not even helping with these kids. That is a lot of bitterness to overcome. So those
in a lot of cases, brothers be paying the child support and they still can't see the kid.
Yep, and that bitterness, and it's family members on both sides.
It's like it's shit all over the board. You know what I'm saying? It's shit all over the board. We can't really just put a dot on one thing and say this is the problem.
You are correct. Listen, y'all, we want to add, because we ain't even talked about the SNAP benefits, and I got to get out of here. I had so much stuff I want to talk about tonight, but a shout out to my co-host, because when y'all keep us going like this and the conversation won't die, I appreciate it. I know Sean and myself have been discussing some ideas for another show, and just sort of be kind of like a switch up and a change of energy. But I definitely think more, and it's this probably is because we didn't come on Monday either, because y'all know.
Yeah.
I have to watch the Packer game. I'm sorry. I'm admitting it.
I knew it. I said that's why that nigga watching them Packers.
Man, are you serious?
I've been watching the game.
I knew he was
told you.
He's like, no, so I'm like, this nigga, I done got off early. I done sent people home early.
What you say, Kamar?
I said, I told you, when the players stop giving a fuck, I stop giving a fuck. When Kaepernick got his money, the players stopped moving and shit. Well, fuck it. I guess they got what they wanted. Because shit, who's the fuck we fighting for? Them.
I don't watch any other game really in the NFL. I don't own any apparel, because I believe that the way the NFL owners, first of all, we talk about their affiliation. These are some supreme Trump lovers, MAGA supporters, conservative billionaire white dudes who actually play chess with human beings. And in a lot of cases, you use them until they're used up. You don't even want to talk about the physical nature of a lot of these players when they're done playing and left broken and dusted and disgusted. And the NFL was so nasty that they wouldn't even give, and they're hundreds of billions of dollars generated. They wouldn't even give the old school guys, the dudes who played with the 1-bar face mask and the thin ass shoulder pads and the leather helmets, who was crippled and dealing with the brain thing and
that's why I don't watch football like that. Happened to my uncle.
Watch some of those dudes and their fingers are all crooked and gnarled and you got 26 surgeries on your knee. The NFL is so egregious. They gave them hell to even pay their medical bills. So this is really, for me, a criminal organization. However, if not for the game of football, I don't know where I would be to this day. I was able to play football and get an education and get out of the hood and get some straightening to myself. Now, I've a tradition that my dad and I discovered that helped us bond was watching the Packer game when I was 8 years old. I have not missed the Packer game since then, since I was 8 years old. And whether they're winning, whether they're losing, whether Colin and I'm down with Kaepernick, y'all know this, but I have to watch it. And so it's just part of who I am, man. So I watched it and they lost, and I was disappointed. And I was sitting there like, dumbass, you should have done your show because they lost. That's what you get. So we only did one show this week, so that was my fault.
Hey, shit, Kev, I went to the Carolina game, sat in the motherfucking cold, and they lost.
Right. So you feel my pain, right?
But hey, I'm gonna tell you, it was still a hell of an experience, man.
Yeah, Lambeau Field, dope.
Like I said, my cousin, I was just finna go back to that. You know what I mean? I felt like I said with the players and Kaepernick, once they stopped caring, I stopped caring. And then even to the note about how we know the NFL don't do the insurance off, again, accountability. Like a lot of players, they know this and they still going. They choosing to do it. You know what I'm saying?
My cousin knew that in the 80s, Kamar. My cousin's name is Carlton Williamson. He played for the 49ers for 8 years. And he said he knew. That's why he got his college degree. That's why he invested in some real estate, because he knew. He said he knew they wouldn't take care of him. They dirty as hell. That's hard for me to watch it because my uncle played too, and his ass just did coke his whole life before he killed himself. So I ain't with all that. I hate the NFL personally, to be real with you.
Now let me go because we got to troll, y'all. We got to troll. And this is Terror Destroyer. Check this out. And this is funny because I don't know if people like this think that they can affect me. I don't know if they expect me to have any emotional kind of thing. Right. It says my boyfriend's testicles were bitten off by a camel recently. Okay. Should I marry him when he wakes up from his coma, or marry his identical twin brother whose testicles are in pretty good shape?
Marry the brother.
My suggestion to you would be to put as many testicles as you possibly can in your mouth and just sit in a corner, because I don't know why you choosing to troll my show, but there's so much ass for you to kiss. In the 414.
Okay, hey, I welcome all that shit on my page, man. I can get paid for comments.
Right. Okay.
Shit. Get paid for that.
Marry them both and let them slut you out.
That's right. Spit roast.
There you go.
Right. Ace Cooley says, shit, Kev. Let's add to these players at the end of their careers. They can't even get insurance. That's what Kamar just referenced.
Yeah, no.
He said, I'm up. You was here and didn't even. Oh, Kamar, he's saying you didn't call him. He's in Green Bay and you didn't call him. Ace is saying that. You didn't even holler. Oh, shit.
Shit, I was only there for 3 hours. I was in the building and then out the building and back on the highway. I wasn't even driving.
Okay.
Okay.
So check this out. Once again, we'll be back Monday. I'm going to make sure we're back. I don't think they play next Monday. We'll be back. We'll be back next Monday because I wanted to talk some hip hop stuff. Outkast went into the Hall of Fame.
Yes,
but we continue to deal with this decrepit degradation of hip hop, and that now none of the new artists in any of these award shows, best new artist categories, are hip hop artists. I wanted to talk about the accountability of hip hop, and I wanted to talk about what it would take for us to take a real good look at what hip hop is right now and what it represents, as opposed to what it initially was, and its growth. What made it really shoot into the stratosphere, but we don't have time. So we'll talk about that Monday. I also want to know, because I'm so confused, are people not getting their SNAP benefits? Because it's one time the judge say you got to give them, then they say you don't have to, And he said we giving them half. And then some people say Governor Evers said we gave everybody all that shit. And then the
He
feds said
gave
no.
everybody all their stuff.
But now they're saying they're trying to force them to undo it.
And he said he ain't giving nothing back.
Yeah, apparently Tony's not going to give anything back, apparently, from everything I've read. But I heard it's going to take about a month and a half to fully fund the government again or get them restarted or whatever. That's the last thing I read.
I'm confused. I don't know.
Me neither. Yeah, I don't understand their process, how their thought process even is.
But like I say, it's 1 minute. It's you get them, then give them half, and then no, get that shit back. No, wait a minute, hold on. Like it's like a pushing match. I don't know what's going on.
The dumbass that's the president, though. It is what it is.
And I also am very, very callous for not talking about these Epstein emails with Trump being mentioned by name by Epstein.
Don't even go there because the Democrats, they played the long game. Them motherfuckers smart, bro. We got to talk about that on Monday. They really did. They said, fuck the shutdown. They conceded that just to get the chick from Arizona from here to get her in there. He's fucked, bro. I done read all them emails. Not saying his supporters are going to turn on him or whatever. People like Orlando and Chris, they're going to point out the things that he does positively to them. But I'm telling you, he's fucked. They finna lose the White House, dog. 2028 is going to be a Democrat. I don't give a fuck who it is. They're not winning. No.
My only takeaway that I have right now, and I want to do more of a deep dive into it because I'm here from what I read. I only read some of the emails. I don't know if anybody on here read all of them.
I read all that shit.
Okay. So
where can I read them at?
Where did you
go online and get the pictures, dog? Just Google that shit and then you'll see images. Everything that's available is actually on Google. This shit is wild.
So my thing is that he just at one point it said, I didn't deal with him. You denied any complicitness, and people supported you and saying no, he didn't. But we're finding out that what we knew anyways. Your ass was lying. We knew you were lying. There's photos. There are photos and him saying that Trump spent all of this time with one of the victims
who killed her fucking self, Virginia Dufresne. Yep. Okay.
Oh, that's who it was he was with?
Fuck yeah, bro. This shit is so incriminating. He's fucked. He ain't gonna go to jail, but his credibility done. For real.
I think some MAGA supporters are so delusional, Ian, that I don't know that this would be the nail in the coffin.
No, not for MAGA. I'm talking about independents. Well, independent voters that helped him win, they won't vote for another Republican.
Okay, I get you. But I was about to say, Trump has a very Jim Jones-esque effect. Not Jim Jones, the rapper, either. I'm talking about Jones. I'm talking about Kool-Aid, brother. There's some people who are just absolutely glamored by Trump. Yeah. I don't understand why. And after all of this time, like now he's floating, it might be a $2,000 check, which I would welcome. But then when you look at the explanation of this, there are some people saying that he technically won't be able to do this. And he is basically trying to deceive you about what tariffs are and what they produce. And it's a deep economic conversation. So if you don't understand economics, please reserve giving out your opinion because you don't want to lead anybody astray. Let's see what the real nuts and bolts of this is. And even if he gave me $2,000, I still wouldn't vote for him again, but I would gladly take the $2,000. Let's just put that out there because I feel like it's all taxpayers' money anyway. So it's my money. Yes. You ain't doing nothing but giving me my money back.
Yes, yours.
But man, I've had so much fun with you guys tonight, man. This is always a pleasure to do Outlaw Radio, man. I rock with y'all. Shout out to Christopher Lawrence. He said, great show. We appreciate you, Christopher. A said, I don't want any APAC candidates. Shit, there was Democrats involved as well. He said, fuck, this is Earl saying, fuck Donald Trump. Yo, Sean, you going to the Day of Remembrance this Saturday, right?
Yes, I am. It's this Saturday. Come out at 4201 North 27th Street, Century City Towers. We'll be there most of the day. It's in remembrance of the victims and their families, right? To also strengthen and support them, but to remember the tragedies that could have been prevented.
Dope.
So,
Kamar, what you got cracking this weekend?
I'll be at the Sherman Phoenix all week, Saturday, all the way up to Saturday.
Can I say
Okay.
one more thing?
Yeah.
What's that?
So last weekend, I believe it was, we had our mental health breakfast. We had about 50 people come out. Feedback was positive. People want to know when the next one is. So we're in the planning stages. We're looking at the 13th of December. So yeah, it will be up on Eventbrite. I think it was nice. It was nice. It was a unexpected surprise by the turnout. Food was great. Speakers was great. Come out, share with us. Mercy Memorial Baptist Church, December 13th.
Okay, so Ian, you got a platform that you never even talk about on the show, and I don't understand why. Like you doing the whole thing on Fridays and you never push it on here. I'm like, what is he hiding from us? Like, what is he?
No. You know when it's Outlaw Radio, I'm just focused on Outlaw Radio. But I know what you're saying, man. You always are more than kind. But I do Fuck Your Feelings Friday, and because my nephew and my aunt, I just go on there and I go on a lot of rants and shit. But I notice it's kind of a waste of time because a lot of people that double down on Trump are just fucking morons. So it's just a waste of time at this point. But what I will say is because they have a fight company. So what we're going to I'm not even going to read that comment because me and him argue about this shit all the time. It's not the Epstein Trump stuff is not new. It doesn't matter. The guy, y'all just push away what he's been doing, his criminality, all of these different things for years for the sake of what? Some crypto and a couple of dollars. You know what? Christians, if you are, I'm not knocking his Christianity. Chris is a Christian. But the thing is, though, Christ stood with the oppressed, not the oppressors. Trump is trying to deport people that's here legally. They just tackled another black boy leaving Walmart because of how he looked. And I ain't seen no white people get deported. And he trying to bring in 600,000 Chinese people. I'm sorry, that's a whole nother show, man. But yes, on Fridays, that's what I do. So, yeah, definitely, man. I'm going to start doing that. But I'm going to start doing more to MMA shit because of what my nephew does, him being a pro fighter. We're going to talk more about those events and a little bit of politics because this stuff is ridiculous. Much as I love Chris, they on the wrong side of this bullshit. This guy is an incompetent. His first term was fucking horrible. By every metric, he was voted the worst president ever. I mean, ever of living presidents. Not like Andrew.
Not by every metric because his metric, he said he's the greatest.
I needed a drink after that shit. Yeah, I feel you, but yes, you're absolutely right. By his metric, he's the greatest ever. Fuck that clown. I hate dude.
Well, please share the show. We'll be back Monday. Kamar, hit us with some real OG shit.
OG.
Real OGs know you can't be out here looking for people to be fair. Fairness is a myth. Fair only works when people playing the same game, playing by the same rules. Sometimes you play by the rules. Sometimes you bend them. Sometimes you just got to make your own motherfucking rules. Stop me when I'm lying.
Real OG shit, man. Straight from the heart. Peace and love, man. Appreciate y'all support. Please share the show, man. I'll see y'all Monday. Have a safe weekend.
Hey, Kev, I need to get some information about Mr. Lemire.